Hello and happy Tuesday. How art thou? Not a normal stream day, but I was asked if I wanted to play a game tonight, and it looks pretty cool, and I want to give it a try. I can't deny playing with friends, as long as Mrs. Flash is okay with it. So that's what we're doing tonight. Basically, this game, Mazebound, is like Maze Runner if it was made into a video game. I think that's basically what's happening tonight. So me, Mr. Chingus, and Mr. Baron are going to give this a try. Probably fail, but we're sure as hell going to try. Hello, friends. Hello. You're going to be a Jason main. Let's go. Have you, I'm assuming that Jason is out. Is that correct, coach? I'm assuming. I might just go ahead and open the game, man. On the PTB. Oh, okay. Have you had a chance to play as Jason? Or are you just like preemptively saying? Like the shirt. Thanks, Fran. Me too. Gotta represent, you know? Yes. And you dig? Hey, Draw. Good to see you. Hello. We're going to go ahead and open the game. I don't know if there's any audio that's going to happen when I do this, but we'll see. I don't know. All right. Welcome in. Hello. Lesser. Hello. What are we checking out today? We're checking out a game called Mazebound. Thank you, gamer fan. Thank you. Trisha, I'm doing well. How are you? The Tuesday is going well. Ew. The holiday weekend was great. Oh, you can type your own name? I mean, I'm just going to... Okay. Well, shit. Oh, God, not the wheel spin. No, we're not there yet. Okay. Speedrunners. Okay, that's fine. Hold on. What is the audio happening right now? Oh, okay. It's just ambient. I'll turn my music down then. Watched you and Baron play earlier. Oh, man. If you guys missed it, I wasn't streaming or anything. It was in the middle of the day, but I had the opportunity to check out Outbreak for the first time. And it's the tornado chasing game. And I played it with Baron, and we had a blast, man. I 100% want to do that again and do it on stream. That'd be awesome. Juju, thank you for the raid. Welcome in, Fran. How was your stream? Loved. Oh my God, it's so great. It is so good. All right, I do need to check some things first before we get into things. Got to get Chingus in with you guys. Oh, for Outbreak? Oh, for sure. Yes. I think we've already discussed it would be so good. How do you donate to St. Jude? If you do !donate, it will bring up the link, friend. And whenever we reach $17,000, we will pop another balloon and we will do who knows what. Love the shirt today. Thank you. Is Outbreak multi what? Multiplayer? Yes. Yeah. I don't know. I think Baron was saying when you have enough people, you can literally have your own like server, like as in you all load into your own. Yeah. Siren, thank you for the 15 months. Multiplayer and solo. Yeah. All right. Autosave. Brightness level is at 0. I'm going to kick it up a little bit so we can see things. I don't know. Stream was awesome. Played Creepy Shift, Uncle Joe's Motel. Oh, that sounds delightful. That sounds delightful. Kay, thank you for the 10 months. Oh my God. Head bob. Oh my God. I don't like head bob. We turn head bob off. Look sway, camera tilt, fall sway, jump sway. What the shit? I'm just going to leave the rest of those on, I suppose. Do I not have the ability to limit my FPS? It can show, like I can show my FPS, but you can't limit it? Interesting. I guess we'll see. Ooh, master, ambient, effect, music, UI, voice. Lots of stuff that we can customize. Interesting. I guess we'll just go with the flow, and whatever we think is too loud, we can literally turn it all down. Especially if you love jump scares. Wasn't feeling 100%. This was a short stream. Oh, well, I hope you feel better. I'm sorry that you're not feeling so hot. Surprise stream, let's go. All right. So push to talk. What? Okay. Can you change what that is? That might be okay. Push to talk, the button might be. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, we'll just leave it on V. That's good. That's push to talk. Is there any kind of radio function or anything like that? I don't think so. Crouch toggle. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. I don't know. I might change those. We'll see. You're also sick. Well, knock it off. Rarsum, hello, friend. Good to see you. All right. I'm just going to leave it alone. I'm going to leave it alone before I do something I shouldn't do. Yeah. Ah, frame rate. Ah, there we go. The frame rate cap. That's what we needed. Field of view, we'll leave it at 75. Motion blur. I'll turn motion blur off. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I guess we'll hit apply and go for it. Will friends be joining tonight? Oh, they will be. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, yes. Flame, hello. How are you? I'm just going through all this now, so that way, whenever it's time to join with friends, we won't be having to fight through settings. Yeah. Hey, donate again. One more time. Exclamation point donate. Yep. Love a surprise stream. Well, hello. All right. I'm going to go ahead and get going in the other places so that way we're ready to go. Let's go ahead and do it. I might have to turn some of the sounds down. Old man tongue like nice. Okay, that's good. Audio. We'll keep it there. I think that'll be fine. Good, how are you? I'm good. I'm doing well. Do I know what it's about? I mean, kind of. In a very short fashion, as in I read the description. In this survival horror, you're surrounded by sea and a towering gate ahead. Walk into the maze, hunt, gather, and run to survive, alone or with friends. Remember, you're not the only one starving. That's all I got. That's it. Hi, Carrie. Good to see you, friend. So that's the info I got, and we're gonna go with it. Subaru, I'm good. How are you? What up, Blood Raptor? Good to see you. Hello. Oh my goodness, regular. Good to see you. Hello, hello. My day is good, dude. The day is good. Oh, I didn't change that though. So we'll get into this shortly. I'm gonna wait until Mr. Chinggis is ready and Mr. Baron is ready, and then we'll be ready. We'll be locked and loaded. We're not gonna waste too much time today. Just enjoy the soothing sounds of the waters. Might you be playing this game again? I guess it just depends. I can't really say I'm going to play it again unless I like it. And if I haven't played it yet, I don't know if I'm going to like it or not. Long day at work. I got you. This game could be amazing. Get out. Just leave. Right now. Just leave. Mad Hatter, thank you for the dono to St. Jude, friend. Love watching all the streams. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Ms. Believer, thank you for the 3 months. All right. Keep me posted if he's ready or not. I don't know if he is. I assume he might be. He might not be. Adam, thank you for the dono to St. Jude. Thank you guys so much. The relaxing background noise. I don't know how relaxing it's going to be once we get into the game. I have a feeling that that's going to shift pretty drastically. Change view? Oh. Interesting. You can actually change which way you're looking for like the menu. Well, hot damn. Con Gamer, thank you for the 7 months. Oh my goodness. Miss P, thank you so much for the biddies, dude. Well, that's pretty rad. I'm bound to find this game amazing. God damn it. God damn it. There's a bird. Yes, there's a bird. I don't know what to expect. I have no idea. I think it's possible that Baron might have played this once. Maybe. I don't know. Working on updating the shop as I watch. The comfort and focus. Oh, what shop are you updating? Oh. Hunt. Gather. Run. Global. Friends. Nobody yet. Nobody. What's up, Amanda? Good to see you. How's it going? Brentley, good to see you. The view you're in reminds me of Maze Runner. Yeah. Yeah, with the thing opening up and then it locks them in. Yeah, I don't know what to expect, man. I'm not really sure. Juju, thank you for the dono. Oh, it's a bean. Thank you. Thank you so much. For the kids. Bean time. Juju, thank you so much for the dono. My small online shop called... Oh, library. Oh, that's cool. Going all right, making dinner. Nice. Maybe the game is inspired by Maze Runner. I can only assume. A game called Mazebound that is very similar in nature to many things from Maze Runner. I can only safely assume that there's some inspiration to be had there. Yeah. Not 100% on that, but I'd say more than likely. You know, it's good when the speedrun time is almost an hour long. Was it an hour? Oh, yeah, look at this son of a bitch. Got him. Yeah. Or is that a minute? That may be, I mean, is that, maybe that's 59 seconds. You know? It could be. I don't know. Macy, good to see you. What's up, Adrian? I guess we'll find out soon enough. Maybe. I don't know. It's really hard to say. Selling some of the childhood things in books. Oh, man. My adulthood has basically been buying back the things that my parents got rid of when I was younger. If it was seconds, there'd be a dot instead of a colon after it. You assume that it's correctly punctuated. Nothing shows when you do exclamation point donate. So in the chat, many a time over, there has been people that have been typing exclamation point donate that have been bringing up that link. You don't have to personally do it yourself, and there's a cooldown on it. So whenever you see the donate link pop up after somebody says it, that's the link. But it's not going to show up every single time. Give me something heavy to throw. This mug is going to fly. Which one? Just Mrs. Flash abusing me. It's fine. Baron's loading into the game. Okay, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Sorry, I was just being abused. You know, here we are. Silk, thank you for the dono to St. Jude. Oh, there's 2 beans. Yes, she threw a bean at me. Yes, she did. New game? Yes, new game. Never heard about it. I also did not know about it until like yesterday or the day before. I just heard about this game and I said, it sounds great. Let's try it. Yeah. Hey, Fight Demon, how are you? Juju, thank you for getting the merch, friend. I appreciate you. And Historic, thank you for the 16 months, dude. All right, so if he's loading in, that means I assume that Chinggis is also going to be ready here shortly. I don't know who's hosting this shindig. I'm just along for the ride. Pickle Man, my day's been good. How's yours? How goes it? Bird, thank you for the dono. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, man. That's a really good sound. How long are the new shirts available? There is no stopping time for the new ones. Nope. The only ones that are ever a limited time are the ones that are for like the seasons. But those kind of shirts, that's going to stay. That's not going anywhere. Making good on chat redeems? Oh, great. Great. Awesome. Does that mean that I'm going to be having to play with either Batman or some old lady? Is that what this is telling me? My Terps fan? I mean, not really. Their lacrosse team was pretty sick, but like beyond that, I didn't care. Oh, strip. Oh, great. Oh, the whack. Oh, okay. Understood. I understand. Was wondering if any of those clips from the 12-hour became blurbs. I think a few did. Just a few couple. Absam Studios, hello. Thank you for playing. I hope the new patch doesn't cause any bugs. Listen, you can't start with a message like that. You can't hit me with that. It's got to be, hey, game's going to be awesome. You're going to love it. Have fun. Later on, like wait for us to get playing. There might be bugs. And then just like run away. Oh my God. Come stand over here. This old lady. Do you want to say something like an old lady? You should.
I'm bringing this whole thing to school even if I can't.
What would an old lady say? What would she say?
Oh my.
Oh, my back. Get out of here, old lady, before you break a hip. Okay, all right. What? My God. She'll have a blast. She asked me if they could use the old lady wig, and I said, yeah, that's totally fine. It's Meemaw. It's little Meemaw. Luca, thank you for the dono to St. Jude. All right, if he said he's joinable, then I'll join on him. Now, hopefully the in-game sound is okay. That is usually my number one. Let me mute the music. Shut. I'm skipping it. Hey.
God.
What's wrong? What's wrong, big boy? Whoa, I'm gonna get a little seasick.
Can you hear me?
Yes?
Oh, God. Okay. Here, what happened to your face?
I don't know. What happened to yours?
Oh, God. Well, according to some people, it would look better this way now.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
That's not
this.
nice.
I want to show you this.
Oh, that's right. You've played this. Oh, yeah. That's right.
Watch this. Watch
Is
this.
this push to talk, or is it- no, it's
Yeah,
not.
there is push to talk.
my
You can
God.
turn it on.
Watch.
Okay,
You
all right.
gotta walk up here and then toe kick.
Why did you grab the axe?
To make them think that I was gonna use it, but in reality,
All right, I'm
He's
back.
just
I have push to
kicking-
talk now.
Careful. Baron's running around kicking birds.
What's happening? Sir, why are we naked? I can't see my
Well,
I see
so
my
that-
shadow, but
We
I
haven't
can't see
earned our
myself.
clothes yet.
We haven't earned clothes yet. What?
Yeah.
yeah. Look,
How do you
it's
have
because
axes?
I picked it
It's
up.
on the
What do you
table.
mean?
yeah.
Look around, dude.
God.
My
I'm
goodness.
so lost right now. I need
Okay.
you to hold my hand.
Look,
Look
we
at this
gotta
thing.
go.
Do you
okay.
see this black bubble that's in the sky? What does that say?
It says ask FlashForce and Baron to help you.
Oh,
shit!
oh, God.
I helped him.
Easy, sir. I have the high ground.
Oh, I will kick you.
I will. Can I burn him?
Look at this. Look
Get
at
here.
this. You think that this is yoga? Hey,
How do you
What the
kick?
shit?
Help.
F to kick.
I love it.
Yeah, there you go.
It is so. Yeah.
Look up. Look straight up in the sky. Oh, it looks even better if you do that. Like this.
He kicked me in the jimmy.
Jump kick. Jump kick. Jump kick right in the face. You don't want none. I'm ready to survive.
All right.
Okay, what's this?
If I run too fast, I'm
833.
gonna get all kinds
Small
of boozy.
hot woods rotting hoe. The boat. Oh, I turned off all of the visuals. The head bob.
I turned off the head
motion
bob. I didn't turn
stuff.
off the other stuff. Should I
All
turn
of
off the
the-
other ones, you think?
I would strongly recommend turning off the other stuff.
It was the input or graphics?
Oh,
Give it
we
a
have
chance to go
tattoos.
through a bunch of
It was these. It was the
stuff,
look
okay.
sway. Let me turn off fall sway, jump sway, camera breathing, landing impact. I'll leave those on. Let's just see.
You get an
Where's
apple?
the head
An
bob?
apple.
You want an
How do I-
apple?
How do I? Yeah.
Here.
Yeah,
Oh, looks like head bob.
apple. Apple. Oh my God! Apple!
Oh God!
Help! Help,
Ow.
Aaron! Help! I
Hey,
will kick.
easy now.
Kick. I will kick. I've come to kick you. I've come to kick. He doesn't want none. He doesn't want none. Okay, he wanted some. He wanted some. He wanted some.
Come here. Come here.
Help me. Help me. Help me, Tom Cruise.
Oh, you're not Flash. I'm sorry.
Or is he?
Are you saying that we all look alike, sir?
I really feel like we all look alike.
Oh, there's a bird. There's a bird.
Parkour.
Parkour.
Oh my God!
Oh my God. What did you do?
This is
I got
devolving
it.
so
Oh, wait.
fast.
Round 2. Fight.
All
Yeah.
right, let me make sure I got.
Get out of my territory.
Okay.
Let me make sure I've got sound.
Do you have sounds?
I do have
Oh.
sound.
Do you have sounds?
Wait, it's closing.
Oh, run.
Quick,
Go,
it's
go,
closing,
go.
Go!
I don't have a torch.
What are we going for?
I don't have a torch.
Why
Go,
are we
go,
going
go,
into
go,
it if
go,
it's
go.
closing?
Wait, do I bring the dead bird? I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna. Oh, wait. Are they gonna make it? I kind of hope they get crushed. I kind of hope they get crushed.
Not gonna make it. Oh.
Wow! Wow!
Sir.
It's fine. It's fine.
I
You
got
can
it.
Get it back.
I got it.
Oh! You got-
Son of a bitch. Melly,
great.
welcome in.
Oh, look at it. Leave it to Baron to break it already.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right. I mean,
Oh,
look.
that
Look
door
what you
opened
did.
up.
Hey, we can go to that one though.
Another
Oh,
car.
God. Oh, jeez. It's out.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
God.
Oh, it's here. We're good. We're fine.
All right. All right.
Thank you, big hand.
I hold
How's the
Silver
volume, by the way?
away.
Away.
Hey,
Oh, wait, I
Flash,
want to
jump
join.
in. It's like grocery cart
Yay.
racing.
Let's go.
Aisle 2. Lingerie, cigarettes.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, look, my dog is down here. You
All right. So we.
Cut down trees. Deploy.
So the purpose of this game is that we were
Uh-huh.
supposed to gather supplies, be able to
Okay.
build a raft to get off this island.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, in the other thing that we saw, was there not a spot?
I chop down trees.
Oh, I thought that was a person. Oh my God.
Oh, look out!
Oh my God! This is what I saw! This is what I saw! This is what I saw! This is what I saw!
So
Help!
close.
Help me!
Jesus.
Oh God! Oh God! Yeah, I'm dead.
Oh, wait.
Volume is perfect. Okay, thank you. Okay. Well, that's good to know. I see them over there. They're still alive. Yeah, that's what I saw over here. Yeah, yeah. We have a lot of stam. You see that? Do you see the bottom bar?
Maybe
Are we cheesing it right now?
No, we're not cheesing it. Oh, hey, buddy.
Are we cheesing?
Oh,
What the hell, man?
Oh my god.
okay, we have to get our cart.
Okay. There's an animal over here. Oh, there's
some
multiple
deer. We're gonna
animals.
have to get some deer fur.
Okay.
Go for the cart. You got it, bud. You got it.
Run,
You
Baron,
got
run.
it. You're doing it. You're doing it.
I'm gonna entice it.
Fingers.
I'm gonna entice it.
Oh God, is he dead?
I don't know. I'm gonna presume that that's a big yes.
Okay.
What if we kick it?
Right. Oh, maybe that's the.
Is that the 200 IQ move? You kick the spider? Oh my god, Baron. I'm gonna hit it with a tree. Come here, bitch. Oh. I have to do it methodically. I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it. Okay, that's fine. Now, if I read correctly on the Steam page, it literally tells you you're gonna die a lot. So I feel like this is meant to be.
Everything is awesome.
Everything is cool when you're part of a team. Oh, wait, what? I have a torch already. Okay, cool. I feel like the spider's sound sensitive. Do you think so? Because obviously trying to defend yourself is just out of the question. Want us to keep count? You don't need to keep count. Hey! What if I crouch? Let's do it.
Baron?
There's an animal trying to eat his corpse. There's an animal trying to eat his corpse. There's an animal trying to eat his corpse. Bitch.
Eat my Baron, you son of a bitch.
Piece of shit. It's very
Hi, you want a
windy.
juicy steak?
Oh,
Juicy steak
oh my
for you.
god.
Oh man, that's a juicy steak.
That's a Baron steak, isn't it?
No, that is not Baron.
Oh my god. Did it just disintegrate?
Yeah, I chopped it up for its leather.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh, hey, welcome back. Hey.
Hey. Hey, it's good to be here.
Go that way. Yes, go, my friends. Oh, shit. Okay, well. Okay, that's really loud. Holy shit. Oh, he's got the wagon.
Yeah.
That's very loud.
Okay.
Oh my god.
That is extremely loud. Imagine the giant stone on stone door being loud.
Yeah, right? The giant, the massive structure. Okay, there's a bed inside the house. We can get some sleep.
Okay.
Wait, all of us together?
Well, yeah. How else are we gonna do this? Do we just
Yeah,
leave
don't worry
the...
about it. I'll put all the supplies over here. Where
Thank
we
you.
need to go.
Here. Listen, this is our first time, okay? You can't... Wait, how do I...
Yeah, he's got all of like.
Oh my
10
god, I
minutes
can't
playing
see.
This.
I can't...
Yeah,
Oh, god.
I stopped pretty quickly.
Do I just drop it over here or do I place it?
Yeah, just drop it.
I did.
Just drop it. There you go.
Oh, okay. Oh.
All right. In the span of 24 hours, we managed to cut down 3 logs.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
I
There
feel
might
good
be a
about what we
snake
did
back
here.
Hold on.
Oh, there's medicines in here. Sorry.
Ow.
Kick it.
I kick. I kick.
Hadouken.
Haha, Dukin.
Watch
Dang
this.
it.
Watch this. Watch this. You ready, Baron? You ready for this?
Yep, I'm ready.
Ready for it? Wait for it.
Hey, waiting.
Wait for it.
Okay.
Wait for it.
Waiting.
Where is he? What the fuck is he doing?
Dingus.
What the fuck?
Where'd he go?
He's over there.
Oh, hi.
Hey.
What the hell are
I
you
was looking
doing?
for the steak. I thought I dropped
Oh.
the steak on the outside of the thing
Oh.
out there.
The thing
But
that
it's
the thing
gone.
that was eating your corpse, he was going to go pick it up. The steak.
Yeah,
No, TP,
it
this
had a
is like
stake.
a. Hey.
Oh,
Press
see, we could have
E to
cooked
light
it.
the fire. Throw
See.
the raw meat onto the fire to cook it. Nice. Okay.
But we don't have raw meat now.
Oh, we don't have raw meat. You lost. All right, let's get some sleep.
Roger that.
One hospital bed.
It's fine.
We'll share. It's fine.
Lock the doors and turn the lights down low.
Oh, it's not fine. It's not fine.
Ow! Why is it my turn?
Oh, God.
Please let go.
All right. Good news is, as long as door number 3 stays open, we should be okay.
Wait, so what you're telling me is... Oh, there's a storage.
As long as door number 3. Yeah, there's a little storage crate.
Oh, okay.
And then you can
Yeah.
put the smaller things inside there.
I don't... Wait,
So
what?
why are we
okay?
okay if storage gate number 3 stays open? What's
I
going
ca-
on there?
I don't know. I've played this for like 10 minutes.
Oh, I see it.
That was only 10 minutes?
There we
Okay.
go. There we go.
Dun, 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 dun,
I'm on my
dun,
way.
Listen, what happens in the cabin stays in the cabin, fellas.
Yeah.
Okay?
Hey, you got some scratch
Yeah.
marks on your back.
Oh, sorry. You guys got it a little bit
Is this
rough.
going to close?
No, it's fine.
Okay. Just know that I will forget this card.
No, we need the card.
How do I drop it? Oh,
just, like,
space.
hit space.
Oh my God, Chingus. Give it a chance, dude. What are you looking at? What are you looking? Can we double the tree? Yeah, look, teamwork.
Yeah.
Ah!
Fuck it up.
You don't want none? Let's go. What in
What do you?
the
What is up?
what
is
in
up?
the trolley
is
hell
up?
just came out of the corner of that wall? You see the broken part of the wall over there? Across the way over yonder? No, behind you. There was a big thingy that came out of there and went right back.
I don't see that.
Oh, I did. Do I have permission to eat the spider? Absolutely. All right, how do we put this? Just press E? Okay.
Oh, yeah, G. You just walk up to it and you throw it on there.
Okay. Oh shit.
Oh, God.
Oh shit.
Oh, God.
Oh shit.
Oh, you're doing great. You're doing great. Oh,
Okay.
kick it out. Bam.
I thought you said it wasn't gonna close.
I said
Hey,
we'd be
sibling.
fine. Here, prop it up. Prop it up. Here, I got it.
Here, just use your strong hand. Use your strong hand.
I'm using my strong hand.
All right. Do we unload this wood or do we?
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Well, let's go and load this
All right.
because I have the steak and the leather in here too.
All right. We're gonna keep knocking. We're keep knocking stuff down.
All right, I'll meet you guys over there. in a second.
Okay. Miss you.
We should be fine.
Holy shit balls, dude.
Okay, we should be okay.
My ear holes.
Huh?
Nothing.
Say something?
Nope.
What is that?
There it is. There it is. Hey, Baron. There's two of them. Baron, there's two of them. There's two of them?
Hey! Hey, we're not scared of you!
I'm a little scared.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you guys watch up. Yeah. You want to start the sitting on me, don't kid. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, God, please stop approaching. Please stop. Please stop approaching. Thank you.
They're not even approaching you. Look, they're fine.
No!
What? Why they?
That's
Oh,
right,
they're,
you better run.
they were so scared. They screamed and they ran. There we go. All right. I'm getting this wood out of the damn hole. If you know what I mean.
Dang it.
I don't know what he's doing. Taking a nap? You want to pet the kitty? It's not a kitty. Hi, I found more. Oh, there we go.
Hi.
There you go. Oh, okay, that's fine. I didn't want to put that on there anyway. There we go. Oh, there we go. Nicely done. Doing great, Baron. Remember now, it's on the hips. Oh no, I hate that guy.
Like it's full.
I hate that goddamn guy.
Look, this guy is just scared of us.
This guy's scared of us, but there is a spooter on the loose.
What is that thing back there?
I don't know exactly.
Don't look at it. It's okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why are my chops so shit?
I can't really see much of anything here anyways.
It's. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't
Go
know
say
either.
hello. Maybe we can reason with it.
Maybe it's because of my stats, my bottom
It's a
left.
spider. There's the spider is.
Yeah, I
there.
see that son of a bitch.
No, it's fine.
Hey, I found a stick. Fuck the stick. It's so strong.
As we go.
All right, there's another one. Yeah, I found a stick.
I got some feathers.
Aw, I did see the bird's nest over here.
Yeah. Wait, did you kill a bird?
No, I did not kill a bird. I just saw the nest.
You murdered a poor
I
bird.
did
to
not.
take its feathers?
Okay, you drop kicked like 3 of them.
Okay. That was in self-defense.
Okay, all right.
Right. That was different.
Sure. As we apple. If I find another apple,
Flash.
it's yours. Yeah.
Flash.
Yeah.
Right over there.
Baron.
Okay,
Baron.
sorry, just stand your ground.
Stand my ground. Oh, can I stand my ground outside?
See? So you gotta do. Just stand
Oh,
your ground.
wait. Did you lay a torch down, or was there one there for you to light?
There was one already there.
Oh, nice.
Wait, Flash.
Okay, I'm coming.
There's a deer over here.
I see it. Should I crouch?
Yeah, crouch down.
Okay, I'm crouched.
So the deer don't see you.
Okay. Okay, just stay calm. Just stay calm.
Hey guys. Hi. What's happening?
Jesus Christ.
Do you have any more logs?
Hey guys.
Damn it, there's some on the outside, you son of a bitch.
Are there? Are they on the outside?
Oh my God.
We're hunting. This is why we can't take Chingus anywhere.
I know. Yeah, I bet that spider's about to come running up here in about 17 seconds.
Right?
I forgot about Q, thank you. What if I hit it with a rock? I have a rock.
Oh, yeah, throw it at it.
I'm gonna kick his ass. He doesn't want none. Hey, you! Bear f***er! Oh, shit! I threw it at the deer! I threw it at the deer! I don't know. Hold on, wait. Baron. Here he comes. Game on. I think it worked.
You're doing good, Flash.
He's hurting Chingus. He's hurting Chingus. Oh shit. We gotta get out. Dude, thank you so much for reminding me about the queue. I totally forgot.
You got it? Okay.
Yeah. There you go.
I just walked in and it's all like, I'm gonna get that motherfucker right there. Yeah.
Hey, we call this one Mazebound and welcome to Jackass.
Hey, no. Hey, there.
Are you in need of assistance? All right. I guess we'll wait for the next one to open. How much time do we have left for the day?
Number one.
Okay.
We're good.
All right. We have not been in there
we
yet.
gotta try to kill some deer.
He deserved it.
There's
I'm
like
telling
deer
you.
and rope and sticks and stuff too.
Okay.
So we got to try to find those.
Now you have to understand, I skipped the tutorial, so we're just going by the seat of our pants.
Look, you just kick.
Just kick. Roger that.
All those fails.
Oh shit! I threw my stuff. You know what I keep forgetting about though? Freaking Q.
Oh yeah, I keep
Dude,
forgetting about that too.
I found Chinggis's raw meat, if you know what I mean.
Well, I found a hunting axe over here.
I'll put that down there. It's a little more obvious. Flash touched the stick and said, screw that stick. I did say that. That is very true. Beast, thank you again for the don't know to say Jude friend. Thank you.
Stuff over here.
There's a stone. I mean, I imagine these are useful, right? Especially when you throw them at this son of a bitch. Oh. Oh, get close enough. Get close enough. I'm going to rock your world.
I are the ones risking our lives.
I don't know. What?
No, Chief just running around back at base, just all nice, willy-nilly, just doing whatever he wants.
What the hell did I just do?
Well, you opened up a waste zone.
Oh, look at that. Wait, does that mean I can travel back to the thing from here?
No. That means that you can...
You son of a bitch! Lying son of a bitch!
Hey, Chingus.
Hey, this is how we
about
check
time
on him.
You showed up.
Hey, look
Dude,
at this.
Q is so great. Oh, hey, look what I found. Oh, there's berries.
Oh wow.
Let's go. Do you?
Fellas?
We need.
Yes.
Fellas?
Oh god! What the
Fellas?
fuck is that?
I don't. He said, "Fellas," I didn't even look. Oh my god. Oh my god, I didn't even see it. Oh, look at Chinggis.
Chingus? Okay, Chingus, I've got eyes on it. Just run.
Is it really like that? Quick, look away. Look away. Just look away. Just look away. Just look away.
It's okay, Chingus. I got it. It's all right.
Oh my god. You wiggly son of a bitch.
It's hideous.
Never eat wild berries. I know, we've all seen. Oh my god! I'm gonna axe him.
Peekaboo.
Can I ask you a question?
Axe him.
Yeah, ask
Oh, I got him!
Smack it.
I just got him right in the
Oh
schnoz.
hell yeah!
Yeah, you better retract. Spring-loaded
fuck you,
bitch.
asshole.
Oh my, he just lives up there?
Oh, spider.
You were asking earlier, you were like, why do you keep looking up? I didn't want to
And
give
now
it away.
we know.
I didn't want to give it away.
Oh my
Dude, that came down
god.
right on top
How
of
do we
me.
know
I
when
thought
that
it
thing's
was
gonna
water.
come down?
You'll hear a noise. It sounds like kind of like a low grinding noise.
Okay.
All right, there's one of the monsters.
Man, I'm just gonna be staring at that guy the whole time now. Beetlejuice.
Spider, Baron, spider.
That was very Baron. Spider.
Oh god. Oh, it's doing.
It's doing it
things
again.
It's doing it.
Oh my
I don't
god.
like it.
You listened for it? Yeah, that's what I assumed. Yeah. Derp, thank you for the 43 months. Meg, thank you for the 33 months. Thank you for the subs, friends.
All right, who's looking at it?
Me? I'll look
You
away.
are?
Here.
Oh, Baron's back over here.
Yeah.
Oh, he must have switched back.
I went through the portal.
Ah, classic. Okay.
Okay.
I assume that guy just lives over here in this one.
There's a few of them.
Oh, great.
Let him get close and poke, because that's what we did. He got this close and I gave him a
don't
jab.
know exactly
and he went
how we're
away.
gonna make rope and stuff like that.
I don't know. Well, I skipped the tutorial to save time.
Well,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I followed the tutorial.
Well, Baron's
and
got
I can't
sticks.
say- Yeah.
We
So
do
I'm
need
assuming.
sticks.
Fellas, I can't run as fast as you. I'm actually carrying things out of the area.
Oh, hold on,
Okay,
I'll bring the
want me
card
to take
for
a
you.
stick? Or no? You got it? Here, I'll take. Okay, I said a stick. Relax, dude.
I have like 6 sticks.
Don't forget the. Oh yeah. Hey, where's Chinggis?
So,
Did he run away again? I was gonna ask if he got his meat.
He did run away.
Okay.
Yeah.
My hunger is at I'm like a little under 3/4 full.
Okay. There's apples over here.
What'd you just call me?
I said there's pulp.
What the hell? That's talent right there. Is he doing what I do? You see what I see?
Was
Barry?
I just pushing myself on the cart?
Okay, cool. We all saw that.
Yeah.
Roger that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Flash, where did you put the stick?
I gave them to Chinggis. I've
You
stuck
put
them
them
in.
in. You put them in the cart to be carried. 3
Yes,
feet?
because he brought the cart to
Yes.
me. I wanted it to have a purpose.
Yeah. Don't hate on it.
Where's the app? Where's where? Oh, right here. There's one at least.
Okay, fire
you.
hot.
What?
And that's burnt, Chinggis. Okay.
It's fine.
Did he
It's fine.
and it's
a
burned.
little well
Wait,
done.
who ate all the apples?
So look, nobody ate all the apples. There were no apples.
There were.
We ate
yes,
them when
there
we
were.
first logged in, sir. We all ate them. You ate one, I ate one, and
Yeah.
Flash
See,
ate
and I
one.
just ate my
There
serving.
was more apples.
Nope, there was just one.
more.
Nope, that's right.
Well, I guess let's get some sleep then.
It's okay. Just it's
I
okay.
have to do it again.
Shut your mouth. You shut the hell up. You
Oh
shush.
wow, I've never been to Paris.
Wait, what?
I can show you the world.
God. It's is it a single hospital bed that has been placed in a cabin?
Yep.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Is there an achievement for drop kicking birds? Like, am I unaware of this?
I don't know, but it's very satisfying to do it.
Oh.
Wait, hold on.
Oh,
If I
you
do
do
this-
it right here. Dude, we can craft weapons?
Okay.
You said.
So-
wait. So what? You were like, well, if I do that.
Oh, I can see
Look,
you.
look,
I can
look.
Traps?
That sneaky bitch.
But,
You
Freaking
can
spider.
You can see the area.
yeah.
So no. But if I go in here, you'll be able to see me on the wall.
No valid building materials
Right.
were found. Okay.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Duh.
Wake up, Poppy. Today's a new
What do you
day.
mean, duh.
Is that what he says? He
All right,
says
fellas,
good night,
let's
good
get
night, Poppy.
moving.
All right, so hold on. We got to turn it up stationary. Look, when you walk up to this, you
Crafting
can
table.
craft like we can get. we
Ah,
have to
we have
kill
weapons,
stuff for this. So
Materials,
we need to do
clothing,
weapons.
upgrades.
Yeah,
Oh, there's
see?
a hat. Let's go. Utilities.
Stone shards.
What'd you just call me?
Wooden spear. Okay, we need to get a wooden spear.
For sure. We have sticks. We can definitely
we
get that. How do we know how much crap
Oh,
we have?
we can make stone shards off of stone, so we got to get stone.
Okay, we can find more.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Do it.
Oh, that's fine.
Yay!
Yay! Fun stuff. We're sure gonna get the reference. Oh,
Hey,
dude, I
where's
love
Chinggis
that
again?
podcast. You think he's in there?
No, he would have already been running out.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
You sure about that? Chinggis? Chinggis? Man, it would have been really funny if he got locked in, though. It would have been real funny, though, if I saw him come running and he got locked in. Where the hell did he go now? Why do we keep loot? We need to put a bell on him.
I have to do something for sure.
Wake up, puppy. Jesus Christ, dude, we get it. Holy loud. Loud! Holy shit!
What?
God, it's so loud, man. There's many a stick. Will the stone go in there too?
Oh, you found stones?
I did. We want to find stones. Man, that queue is a lifesaver because it's almost impossible to see some of this shit.
Knock those down for stones then, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I hear it.
What's that growl?
Okay. Nothing.
Oh. Well,
Fine,
I should
yeah,
probably go
you guys
investigate
should-
that then, huh?
You should investigate it. Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah. See? Nothing to worry about.
Okay.
And there's some blueberries. If you guys get hungry.
I do like blueberries.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Don't save any for the rest of us, Chungus. Jesus.
You know what? Just for that, you don't deserve any.
Hey. Not
Hey.
very nice. Oh, yeah! Bitch! Ah! Ah! You know what done? Yeah! That's right.
Hi-ya!
Oh, shit!
I got it. Did I get it?
Hi-ya! You scared me. Right here. Found deer hide because I murdered it. Poor deer. To be fair, it came right at me. What do we got? Old mouthy beach up there.
I got a stone here.
Let's go. Get stoned on,
I
nerd.
brought the cart.
Nice.
There we go. Doing great, guys. Remember, it's all in the hips. Ooh, more feathers.
Yeah, there's a lot of feathers there.
Aw.
It's weird. We can only carry one feather at a time.
No,
Oh, we can do
you
two.
pick up multiple. Oh, fuck. No.
Sir.
You're
No.
fine.
Yeah,
What?
okay, yeah, good.
What's it gonna do?
This is so fucking creepy.
So I
Hey,
see
there's a
you,
stone right
and I
here.
see you, and I see you.
There's a stone right
Fucking
here. Oh, wait.
pig on the other side of this wall.
Right where?
Oh my god!
It's not on me. Hooray.
Oh, that scared me a little bit. All right, we probably want to get this cart out of there if you want to get it through that hole, because I feel like that hole's gonna close.
Well, we have a portal right here, so we should be fine.
Go, Baron, go! Yeah! That thing is terrifying.
Jing is. Ah.
Uh-oh. What if you... Oh!
Oh my god! I heard it.
Got
I heard
it.
it snarl behind me.
Yeah!
We saw it snarl behind you.
See you, Momo. Have a good one. Oh, it's my chance. No! He turned to fly away. Got one.
See, it's so satisfying.
It is satisfying. I
Isn't it?
just wanted to get one. Mine was mid-flight.
All right. How
still
do
so
we do
accomplished.
this crafting bench, Chingus? How did we do?
Oh,
do
so
that?
when you look at the bottom of it where you push
So
it.
we put
it
all of our
says
inventory over
activate
there or what?
Stationary mode.
Oh.
and then you can
If
just
you meet
go
the screaming
crafting
tree, do
table.
not hug him nor hurt him. Okay, so if I see a screaming tree, tell one of them to hit it. Roger that.
What'd you make? Knives? Oh, we can do bows and arrows?
How do we know how much crap we have?
I don't know.
Oh,
You got
missing cloth.
Okay, you're making spears.
Yeah,
Check the
I'm just
workbench.
trying to. Okay, so
Oh,
we're gonna
here's
get
the rope.
cloth.
Okay.
We get
All right, we
cloth
have
from deers.
16
webbing.
log. We need 9 rope. Oh, for the escape raft. Oh.
Yeah, that's how we win.
Yeah. To build this guy out. I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. Game time.
We got the base done. We need
Okay.
9 rope.
Well, it's when you go to build, though. Like when you go into the crafting
got a
table, it doesn't
spear.
say like, hey, you have this many, does it?
No, it does not.
Interesting.
I don't know why
No.
the faces are pixelated. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh,
Okay. So we need 6 more logs. We need
Sorry.
a couple of deer hides and stuff. But there's another.
I do have one deer hide.
I made 2 spears. So there's 1 spear.
so you just put all that crap here, right? No?
Yeah, you put it in there, and then you hit the workbench, and you hold down E, and then it zooms it.
Ah. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right. Who wants to be on hunting force with me?
I'll hunt.
All right, grab the wooden spear. You got to drop. You got to drop either your torch or your axe.
Did you keep your torch or no?
I know. I kept my axe.
Kept the torch.
Since I figure most of the time we're not out during the
I think
nighttime
you're right.
anyways.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. I'm going to go through the portal.
Invader, think of the 5 months. All right, and now we just watch.
Indeed.
Because there's a spider.
Is it a good show? Can we change the channel?
Yeah, hold on. Oh, spider! 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 Jesus! Oh!
Hi.
Oh, that was cute.
That was the opposite of hunting.
Well,
hello?
no, it was hunting.
What?
What the hell?
Did you see this? Okay, it's not just me, right?
What is that doing floating back to the ground? I saw. Do we have health in
I
there?
don't know. Oh, we do. There's a healing.
Antibiotics.
Yeah.
Max health boost. Restore health. Oh, that's what I need. There we go.
Oh, you little fucker.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
Hold on. Hold on. Yeah! Oh, shit!
Oh my god. Oh, Baron! Baron! Help me! It said you weren't supposed to go there. Oh my god. Well, I took one for the team. I took one for the team.
I saw. It
Holy
was
shit.
Up in the sky.
He took me away. Well, that was fun. You guys have fun. I had fun. Where's my spear, you bitch? Oh my god. God damn it.
God.
It's a two overloads. This is so super stimulating.
Get away from him!
Got it!
Get away from him! Oh, bye, Baron.
Bye, Baron.
Up there. You hear him? Oh my god. What can we do with you? Can we do anything with you? So where'd my spear? Oh god. Where'd my spear go?
Bro. Yes! Okay, Jiggins, I'll catch you.
It keeps.
I got him. Oh, shit,
god.
I hit me with the. Oh.
It keeps.
no.
It
I
keeps
got
having
hit.
its way with us. What did we do to deserve this?
I threw a spear at it.
Ah!
Hit it, fire.
I did. Look. Where'd my spear go?
I don't know. I got a spear.
Okay. Mine might have spawned outside of. Oh, hey, raw meat.
I killed the spider.
Blueberries.
Okay. Oh my god. I'm gonna go check outside here to see if it dropped my spear outside. At least the spider's dead. Yeah, that one. I don't see it anywhere. God damn it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, I hear it. Oh!
Oh God.
Oh, God.
Jesus. Oh! Bitch! Get off my friend! Get off my friend!
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, even. Okay. Yeah, that spear's gone.
Okay, so no, it's in his eye.
What? Uh-oh. 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 I have meat? Oh, I could have gone through the thing, couldn't I? Shit. Hadouken!
Push it through, right?
I did not push the wagon. Oh, I think I just ate raw meat. I didn't mean to do that.
Oh,
thing is,
gross.
we're gonna have to have a talk about you parking
Yes,
the
sir.
cart right outside of the magical portal for us to get
Sir.
Hey,
Sir.
I'm just saying, sir.
It's
Hey,
fine,
guys,
okay?
listen.
It's fine.
Listen.
All right, I've been overstimulated, and I kicked a spider.
Oh.
Okay,
Hey, speaking of kicks.
and it- so worth it.
That never gets old. That never gets old.
Okay, what are we doing here? What?
I don't know.
We're gonna sleep. Oh, where'd my steak go?
Day 33, small hut. Oh, never mind. You know what? F me, right? Oh my God. We can draw on the chalkboard.
All right. F.
Hold on. Hold on. The magical
Yeah.
chalkboard's speaking to us.
You. Flash. Flash. Oh. Oh.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Well, look, it's pointing right at
Oh.
Chingus. Yep, there it is.
Wow. Wow.
It's pointing right at him. Look at it. That's spaceship. Yeah, that's spaceship right there.
All right. Let's see if you guys can figure out what I'm trying to draw right here. Right?
Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's a doll.
It's a jackal.
It's a rock.
It's a jackal.
It's a jackal. Yeah.
Okay. No. It's okay.
It's a
All right.
skull.
Race
all
car.
right.
Camera.
It's a race car.
It's a motorcycle. It's a motorcycle.
Wait.
No.
I know. Big black. Wait.
No.
Wait, black down.
It's a skateboard.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Get in here. All right, come on to bed. Somebody's got to put the lotion on me again.
Well, I'm already in bed, so I guess that's Chingus's turn.
Oh man.
Yeah, Jingus.
Got him.
Ow.
Puts lotion in a basket.
Thou
Or gets
hast been
hosed again.
lotioned. Should you be concerned? No, it's okay.
How are you
It's
doing?
totally fine. Don't stress. No mess. It's fine.
Hey, what's that noise?
I still kind of don't feel like I know what I'm doing, but it's my own fault because I didn't look up what to do.
It sounds like
It sounds like the next thing is opening, or it's
birds?
about to be, which is
Sounds
perfect
like-
timing.
Speak
Oh.
fucking time.
yeah.
Sounds like it's time for a high kick.
Hey, Keck.
Man, I'm getting good at that.
Oh, you don't have any more sticks for that.
Yeah, I don't know where my thing went. It's gone.
Okay.
All right, I guess we're going to number 4.
Hi ho, Silva. Oh wait.
Give the players a way to draw.
And
Less than a minute. It's just the way that it goes. This is fun.
We've made sure to blur their faces to protect the identities of the individuals involved.
But I know who you are.
No, it's fine.
Where are we going? We going to get ice cream?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh. Hey, what's over there? I gotta look up just in case.
Right? You gotta keep your head on a swivel.
Shut up, piggy. Oh shit, Baron! Baron!
Get it,
Baron,
get it.
just corner this bitch. Yeah.
Get shit out of him.
That's right. Yeah. Double your pleasure, double your fun. Nice job.
Teamwork.
This is how we do it. Are you? No,
It's
it
okay.
is.
No, it's the other thing. It's okay.
Oh.
Oh, get it.
Run. Go. Can we make it?
Not gonna-
You can do it. I believe in you. Come on, Baron, run. Oh, you're not gonna make it.
She's
No,
smoking.
don't do it. Why? Why would you do that? God damn it.
Hey, Flash. Yeah, I'm okay. Thanks for asking.
I came back for you. Oh. Oh my God. Does that sound all of our items? What the hell is that? Flip cart. Flip cart. Flip cart.
Okay, try to flip it.
Flip cart. Push cart. Nice. There we go.
All right, there we go.
All right.
Throw
Put
all
all
the
this
stuff back
shit
in.
back in. Will it automatically go in if we just push near it? I don't know what the sound is.
I just dropped near it. I think it's just the sound of like the door. Either that or it's a bunch of bees.
We somehow dodged the bees.
There's a bee?
Stepped on a bee.
Did I ever tell you about the story at the time I got stung by a bee?
No.
Not a story that my moms like to have told. There I was, minding my own business.
Go
All
on.
of a sudden, out of nowhere, he ran the deer.
Was that really part of the story?
There I was, the deer, or the bee came up out of nowhere. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Oh, God.
I missed it.
We got it.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Quarter. Kind of feel bad.
Here, you little fucker.
Where is Chinggis again?
Flash.
You got it. You're fine. Bitch. Leave my friend alone.
Aha!
Wait till your friend comes back. Yeah. You better turn around. Did you throw meat at it? Jesus. Yeah, not today, hotshot. Oh, you got a friend over here too, huh? No, you don't. No. That's right. Got one. What is this?
Nice.
Oh. Baron. Running rope back. Oh, how to get rope? Hold on. I'm just going to put this over here. Man, we found all kinds of shit. All right. So we got that. Got that. We got this. Carrie, thank you for the $100 dono.
You know what?
Hey,
you know what?
hey.
I'm
Do you see
kinda-
this thing right here? Look at this guy.
Yeah. Oh, don't.
It's
Oh, no,
webbing.
what is that?
Webbing.
Oh.
Carrie, thank you so much for the dono to St. Jude.
No, I don't know what happened to
friendo.
Flash or to Chinggis, you know?
I was being told that he is running rope back and forth. Or so they say. I don't really know for sure. I don't know where he's getting the rope from.
Hey, I got water.
Water?
Drink some water.
Damn near killing him. What?
I got cloth.
Oh, was that all in the barrel?
Yeah, it was in the barrel.
Eat some berries.
Okay, so
I'm totally not going to die eating these, right? What?
I don't mean to alarm you or anything like that, but I'm a little bit concerned about the fact that it's getting dark soon.
And we have no way out? What
Is that noise?
What was that noise?
Is that? I don't know.
Is that a
I
tree?
don't know what that noise is.
Why was the tree doing that?
And what?
Is this some like Wizard of Oz
What's it doing?
shit? Are they gonna start throwing apples?
Okay. All right. Let's move the cart.
All right.
Okay. Well, here you can do one of two things.
All right.
You can either leave the cart right by the entrance, and we eventually win the door. Oh my God!
Did he just take a wheel off the
He took a
wagon?
fucking wheel? God, yeah!
Not again.
Son of a bitch! Where did he go?
Where did that piece of shit go? His happy ass went running right by.
That little f***er.
What the hell?
Oh, God, okay.
What? What happened now?
Why do I hear my heartbeat?
I don't know. Why do you hear your heartbeat?
Oh no, my health's going down.
Are you poisoned or something?
Oh no, I don't know. I think I'm out of energy. Hold on.
Trying to keep my eyes peeled for the wheel stealing face. Did you drink that water?
No.
Yeah, he drank the water. He for sure drank the water. My God. Where is he? So now we're missing a wheel on the wagon. This is some bullshit. It's your fault. Yeah, you better run. Probably lives in the tree. It probably does. Holy shit. Baron? Baron? Oh, you're alive. Hey. Oh my God.
I am alive. Listen.
Yeah. Go on. You were saying? Baron? Baron, go on. You were saying? Is this pushable with the... He said, listen. All right, this wagon's going to have to stay. There's nothing we can do. There's nothing we can do. I'm going to have to. Oh my God. Zeus, fuck off. What the fuck did I just get caught on? I've got to go this way. I have to. Doesn't seem to be anyone around now. I've lost all my friends. Bro, am I being stalked? By Zeus himself? You can recall to the base. Ooh, interesting. Okay. I guess we're going on a freaking trip, friends. Did everyone pack their lunch? Oh, shit. I don't have a choice, do I? Hi. Hi, little friends. Little friends, hi. Let's pretend he's not there. You don't exist. No, no, no. You're fine. That's right. You just keep going that way. There we go.
You're hearing things.
Oh yeah, it's a FlashForce.
Hi.
All right.
Hi.
Okay. Did you find a stick?
Did I find a stick? I was just trying to get out of here alive. Okay, I'm full up. Where are they going? What the fuck? Holy shit. Tell you what we're gonna do. Let's play it safe. Let's play it safe and go over here, shall we? What's up, Fire? How are you? I know you love the chewing noise. Oh, it's my favorite. My absolute favy. Okay. I heard something very loud. Now, you said we can recall the wagon. How do I recall? Oh, wait. Recalls items from the closed storage crate only. Oh, so it's not, so it has to be in the closed storage crate. So if I recall it, all the items that are in the wagon will be gone, right? I assume. I do not see our friends. Yes. Well, shit. And that's a long trek to get back. I mean, it's almost like we might as well just lose it. We might as well lose it at this point. Hey.
Hey.
Hey, bud. So if we,
hey.
so listen, so we can recall the wagon, but the problem is if it's not inside of the storage crate, we lose it. Tis the issue with the tissue.
Okay, so what you're saying is...
What I'm saying
what
is...
we need to do is high kick.
Yes.
Exactly. And then...
Yes, precisely.
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. Right? We wait for the... we wait for it to open up.
Okay.
Because it wasn't that far in. And then we'll put all the small stuff into the storage crate.
And then recall it.
Leave it there, and then just recall it.
Just kick a bird. Yes. Maybe we'll get lucky and maybe the one that opens up is that one.
Okay, so the maze goes a lot deeper. There's a place called the Boar's Land, and there seems to be somewhat of like a troll thing.
Okay.
It's not very happy that I woke it up.
I thought I heard something loud. Now it all makes sense.
No.
That's what she
No,
said.
that's
She might
the
have said
stone
that.
on stone grinding that you're hearing.
Ah.
Can you craft a wheel? I mean, we probably could craft a wheel.
Oh, that one's
Right, I
opening
think
up.
that's us.
I think we need the last one, but I think that'll do. It's close enough, I think.
No, let's do it.
Because we should be able to just run over to the right, I believe. We just can't see shit, that's all. It's really dark.
Don't hit that.
Where's Chinggis?
There. That's not Chinggis. That's not Chinggis.
Oh my god. Oh, it's angry. Barrett, it's angry. Barrett, remember me. Remember me.
Got it. I got it. Oh, fuck.
Oh, I wonder if you can be revived. There's a timer. I'm curious if you can get revived. Oh, I already have that one. Okay. Where the hell is Chinggis? I'm so confused. Hey, Tashi, how are you? Love with the run with the straight arm down the side. Like, can I hold the torch? Oh, shit. Okay, we're good. He's lost inside? Oh, shit. Barrett? Think he's okay in there? He's probably okay, right? Need one of those back patches with a leash. Backpacks with a leash? Yeah, I think you're right. Huh. No, I'm not lost. I know where I am. It's just, do I run in there and basically die? I feel like I almost have to. Chinggis is more than likely taking shelter. Where the hell is he taking shelter? Is that a bomb? Maybe. So, obviously at night, these thingies come alive. Oh, someone's over there. Is that Chinggis or is that Baron? Hello? Hi. Hey. Hey, City, how are you? Hey.
Well, hey.
So nighttime
There's other
is rough.
creatures that go during a little bit.
Nighttime's a doozy.
Dingus, you okay? Dingus? Dingus? Dingus?
He's fine. He's fine.
He's just sleeping.
Wow, dude's just gonna kick a man while he's down. Jesus Christ. Hold on, wait. Let me see. Hold on. I can see his stream. Hold on. I'm trying to see where we are. I can't see myself. He's on BRB. Yeah. I'm trying to see if I'm on his.
Yeah. All right, I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'm gonna go in the portal.
Okay.
Wish me luck.
I believe in you. I can't tell where his face is. It says it shows it near the log, but I can't see it. We don't know exactly what the pixelation.
I got a stick.
You. I got a stick.
I went in, I got a stick, and I came back out, sir. All right.
You're doing good, kid. You're doing good. And then you gave Chingus a kick. You give him a good luck kick, and you go in there. All right.
All right, you
Here
go
we go.
in there. You grab something.
All right, I'm on it.
All right.
Here we go.
All right, look around and grab something, because you're not going to be able to...
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, Barrett, I'm so dead. There's a fucking rat and a spider. Holy shit. Wow.
There was a big bird that came down here, and it killed you while...
It was the craziest
while
thing, and then I ran into a rat.
Yeah. Oh, King is easy now. All right, listen, I'm a friend.
Okay.
Okay? All right, let's all get some sleep. It's late.
I think that's a great idea. Although that looks
Okay,
so
so
nice, the
I
sky
tracked-
over there.
Wait a second.
Um,
I had tracked the wheel
Oh,
guy.
I know the whole Q thing.
If you
Yeah,
keep
there was
going
nothing
that
that was
way, there's
showing
a
up.
place called the Boar's Land.
That's
Yeah.
what that's what
King
Baron
Kong
said.
is sitting there scratching his fucking balls.
We should go see it during the day.
he is. Yeah.
Okay.
Look, we'll get some spears, and we'll go back and forth.
Yeah. FlashForce.
I see what you did there.
Self promo.
He said the thing.
He said the thing of the title of the movie.
Oh my god. Get that one.
It's a clear representation.
Oh, there's another.
It's fine.
All right, I got another stick I'll add to the pile.
Okay. Here's the thing. Do we want to just leave? We could recall the cart, and then we could go back to the cart.
Wait,
Well, do
leave.
you know where the cart even is?
Yes.
Oh,
but
we
it's
know where the
missing
cart is.
two
It's
wheels
missing
now.
a wheel because some guy.
Can we just
Missing-
build wheels?
I believe we can make
I'm
a
just
wheel.
gonna recall it. I'm
Just
recalling
recall
it.
it. Yeah, there's the missing wheel that bastard stole off the cart.
Okay.
That dirty son of a bitch.
Oh, we can buy upgrades?
Yeah,
sleeping
lantern,
bags? Oh, we can put a
campfire. I guess we can put a lantern on the cart.
There's a heavy ballista that we can make.
Utilities. We can make a
I
compass.
figured out how to look.
You
We can make
figured out how to
clothing?
look. What do you mean?
I figured out how to farm the spider web to make rope.
Oh, I just.
So we could make like
that.
bow and arrows and stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh, I found webbing when we were in there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in little piles. You just axe it away and it comes back.
Okay, well,
right.
right now we
Still a
need
little bit
wheels.
confused
We
about how
need-
to know how much
We
shit
need
we have.
deer. We need a deer pelt. We need rope, and we need 4 sticks. Well, this
Oh.
over here, this lights. If you get up close to it, this light.
So that
brings
tells
up a
us where,
menu.
but that it's for the escape route. But I guess it also kind of tells us what we
That's
have.
all the stuff we need to win.
That's what we need to
Yeah,
win.
this
But
is
where's it like, hey, this is all your shit. This is what you have.
This is literally all that we
Oh.
have. We've turned everything in.
Okay.
No, he's talking about like when we've farmed a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, like when
What's
we
on
have
our
like
inventory?
the
We don't
deer
have
pelt
the
or whatever.
ability to
That
see
like that doesn't say that here. Oh, deer hide.
Yeah,
Never
it
mind. It
does.
does say 1. You're right. Hey, wow,
All right.
dude. Way to miss an opportunity. Shit.
Oh my god.
All right, we're going in.
Going in. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna
You got
make it,
this.
I'm gonna
Don't
make it,
stop.
I'm gonna make it,
Don't
I'm gonna
stop.
make it, I'm gonna make it.
You got this.
He's not gonna make it.
All right, this way. This way.
All right, this way. This way. Over here, quick.
We got this.
All right, are we going to the Forelands?
Are we going a little
That's where the guy
deeper
with
in
the
to go
wheel
find some
is.
stuff?
All right, let's go to the
Hey.
Forelands.
There's the spider's back.
Hey, look at that guy. That's cute.
Fuck it, let's axe him. I think
Should we F him up?
let's just fucking stick together.
Some
We
of
can
you
take out
may
everything.
die. That's a sacrifice.
That's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Bitch. Bitch. Okay, well, that didn't work. Okay, respawn. Go, go, go. Respawn. Go. Wait, we already got this shit. Go, go, go.
Let's go.
Fuck that
go.
spider. Going in. Where's he at? There he is. He's angry. Asshole. Asshole. Kick him. I'll kick his ass. I'll kick him. Oh shit, it kicked me to the portal. Here, we'll watch for a second. Look. I'm back. Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh shit, he's back too. Ah! Help me, please. Maybe you can't. Maybe you just have to wait for the respawn. All right, we're doing good. We're doing good. We're doing good. We're doing good.
This is fine.
Going back in. We're going back in. We're going in. There we go. There's that big son of a bitch. Ready? Surround him. Surround him. Oh, look. I'll get him from behind. Ow. Okay. Did Bear just run away? Good night, Chef. Oh, shit. Oh, I need an axe. I guess they're in there. I'm going to go get one.
Well.
Wait, before I do,
No,
cut chow.
They respawn on the table. They respawn on the table.
That's right. There's one here. Look, right there. I'm ready. Where's he at? They have to. It has to be. Oh, it's coming behind us. Behind us. Behind us. Rear. From the rear. From the rear. From the rear. Oh, oh no! This went south so fast. It went south so fast. Maybe use the torch. Ooh, maybe the torch would be a good defense. That's a good point. I could try.
Not go after.
That's right. We got this. We got this. We got this.
Hey.
Hey. I'm gonna light you on fire. I'm gonna light you on fire. Oh, it kissed me. Oh my god, it kissed. Okay, that didn't do shit. That did nothing. That did squat. That did zero. But it was worth a try. All right, going back.
Hide
Going back.
behind the pile of dead bodies. What the fuck is that thing?
Oh, oh my god. Oh shit.
Oh shit on me!
Oh, don't wait. Go over there. Hit the thing. Hit the thing. Hit the thing.
I got it. Yeah, you don't want none, bitch.
Dude, it's right here. Oh.
Eyeballs. It's too late. I gotta go back.
Oh.
I'm here. Don't fret, little one. I am here.
Oh my god.
So, what happened to that tree?
Where's my axe?
Oh, is this another portal?
It's another portal.
Oh, lovely. That's so nice. Oh, it had eyeballs. Oh, I know.
Where's my axe?
Ah.
I don't have anything.
Hold down Q, Chingus. Look on the floor.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Get away from my friend, asshole. Oh, shit. It did say we would die a lot, and I am kind of just going for it. Okay. There's an axe right there. Okay. Time for the cause. That's right. For the cause! Where are we at?
Hey, I got a med kit.
Where's the spooter? Oh, there he is! What the shit?
Oh, I got it. Okay.
I took that med kit.
I found 2 metal sheets.
All right, I'm putting the med kit. I guess in here. I don't know. Fuck it.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Hey, what's this guy doing? All right. Was for the screaming one that you don't hug or attack? Yes, but I didn't have time to talk about it. Hey, where'd Chinggis go?
You know what? Yeah.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Well, let's go. Let's get back.
Game on.
All right, let's go this way.
All right. Wonder if that spider's still alive. Oh, there's a Chinggis. Hey, the spider's still alive. It just killed. It killed him and ran away. Oh shit! I think it might be coming though. Okay.
Oh fuck! It's coming.
Oh shit! I gotta take it head on. I've gotta take it head on, Baron. I've gotta take it head on. Is the torch effective? I don't think so. I think we need higher grade stuff. All right, I can't let the team down. I gotta go back. We go back. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I'm gonna eventually kill you, you piece of shit. Spears would be very helpful because you'd have the reach, but listen, I'm just just taking them. All right, I need another spear. Give me another spear. Go back in. Let's go. Oh shit! I think we used it too much. You're eventually going to die, you son of a bitch. God damn it.
I don't know what I have here. What is this?
God, it's so feisty, man.
Oh. Hey, I got a hat.
Oh my god.
Oh, you lucky dog. Did you find it?
Ha ha ha! Amongst the naked, the man with the hat is king. Ha ha ha! Look at you guys looking at. Ow! Ow! Look, I opened up another portal for us.
Okay, this spider's dead. God damn it!
Right? I found the lands. I
we
found the
just-
Borlands.
Okay.
So you're gonna have to come out there
There's only
swinging.
one. Only one what? Hat?
Kid, I've got nothing to swing with. I'm gonna have to.
The Borlands.
Chinggis, how do you not have here? Here, use that hatchet.
Perfect.
All right. I feel like you need a friend. I feel like you should have a friend. I feel like you should have a friend. Ow. Ow. Ow.
We got it.
I don't think we do. Not today, bitch. And we go back.
That was horrible looking.
Oh, I'm dead.
You leave my friend alone.
Barbecue time. We're doing good. We're doing good. We're doing good.
We're doing good. We're doing
Death,
good.
death is just part of the game.
There it is. I'll do this brute force attack I'm liking. Yeah. Stop it. No. Stop. Stop it. No. Stop. No. Stop. Ow. Ow. Stop. Ow. All right, let's watch Chinggis do it. He's doing good.
Yeah. You done messed with my friend, didn't you? You son of a bitch.
What? Why me?
Yeet, skirt.
I don't know why they were going for me.
All right.
Yeet.
All right, here we go.
Ready?
Do it.
1, 2, 3, go.
There you go.
Oh, well, here, little piggy, let me in.
Yeah, you
Got it.
fucking like this, do you? You
Oh my God, do you hear Chingus over there? It was a bloodbath. Oh God! Why me? And then go back. Oh shit! It only wants me. Oh God! It only wanted me. Ah!
See, we're doing okay.
The Borlands are no more.
Fuck you up. Oh, you son of a bitch.
Watch out, Bor. He's gonna F you. You're doing good over there. You're doing great.
Got it.
You're doing good.
Flash.
There we go. Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Hi. Yeah, I found some raw meat.
I
Ah.
found some back over here too.
Oh, it's getting a little dark over here.
There's some more boars.
Hey, there's the big King Kong dude.
I gotta find out, guys.
Oh, shit.
I gotta find out.
Holy shit. Oh, you're about to learn today. Trying to...
Chingus! Chingus! Oh, Chingus is dead.
Is it?
Chingus is dead.
I'm trying to use the tree for leverage.
Did I lose the hat, or do I still? Oh, no, I still have my hat.
Yeah, you're wearing a hat. You're good.
Hooray! Hooray!
Aaron.
Yep. Oh shit! Oh no! Do you see it?
I sure do. I don't know why it's just standing there. Is it because of the light?
He's gone.
What was that sound? Chingus. Chingus.
Flash!
Baron, there's something with red eyes over here.
There's something over here. There's like a door or something like that with some sigils on it.
Okay,
Come on, this way.
let's go.
Red-eyed thing is a rat, by the way.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. All right, how do we read this?
I don't know. Maybe only a penitent man shall pass.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Oh,
Oh god, it's a rat. Oh god, it's a
you're
rat.
doing great. You're
Thank you.
doing
Thank you.
great,
Thank
Flash.
you. Thank you.
You're
Dodge
doing
weak.
so
Dodge
good.
Weak. Dodge weak. Oh, it's a squeaky toy. What the fuck? Oh, ow, ow, ow. Stop it.
You're
No,
good.
no.
You're doing
Baron,
good.
Baron,
You got
Baron.
it. You
Hey,
got
remember
it.
that time? Remember that
Stop
time we
it.
went together and we had sandwiches and we loved them so much? They were so... Okay, we're dead. Who the fuck is
Starting to
Chingus?
think that
He said, I'm starting to think that... And we're dead. Oh, hey, how are you?
I wouldn't go in there if I was you.
Why? What's in there?
Okay. You just gotta find
Hey,
out.
streamer. All right. Oh, shit. It's a rat.
Rat.
It's a rat. Baron is balls deep back
Oh,
there,
that's
so
great.
I don't know what to do to help.
Well, we wait here for him to die so we can nap.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds good. Should we leave him a note on the chalkboard?
Yeah.
Come to bed, sweetie. Rogue, thank you for the 7 months.
There we go. That's better.
Come to bed, sweets. Okay.
Yep.
I did skip the tutorial. You know, there's a few games that I've played where not playing the tutorial was actually more fun.
What are all these names?
I don't know. I don't know if they're like part of the team. I don't know if they're like,
Yeah.
I don't know, beta testers. I don't know.
The fridge.
Hey, you know, the fridge.
I do know the fridge. It's right there.
The fridge. It's the little black book. Oh my god. Is he still sitting on top of a stump?
Let me check.
Because that's what was happening. He was on top of a stump.
He is still on the stump, sir. Fuck it, let's go.
I'm being told he's on the stump. Maybe we can go find him.
Still on the stump. Okay.
Bitch.
Fuck you, rat.
There's another one over there. Okay, was he this way?
What the shit is that?
Well,
I got mauled by a headless body.
you certainly did.
What the hell was that?
It was a headless body.
Oh, thanks.
So, I don't know if we're going to be able to make it to him.
I think he should just take it. He needs to just take it to the face and join us here.
I don't know what the benefit of him staying alive right now is.
Other than annoying us and us being alone?
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind. I'll just stay here and kick birds, you know? Who wants to kick rocks when you can kick birds?
For 2000.
What happened?
There's a weapon called the Blinker 2000.
Oh, there's the cartwheel, upgrades, materials. A little hard to see. That's not any better. He knows his teammates are on the way, but there's no point. There's no help. Like us being there in the middle of the night. You know what I mean? I'm making a run for it. No idea where I am. I'm gonna die. Oh my God, Jesus Christ. Get away from me, you fucking rat dogs. Jesus Christ. Oh my God, it's a spider. Oh, I'm dead. Okay. He's so optimistic. For what? I'm being chased by squeaky toys and spiders. Naked, little naked mole rats. Well,
this is fine. Oh, hi.
Hey, that was good. That was good.
All right.
Yep, I got mauled pretty good.
By what?
Everything.
Okay.
Okay. I have no idea where he is. Oh shit.
These are headless bodies.
Baron!
Hey! Hey! There's a rat over here!
All right, I'm gonna touch
Hey,
it.
you guys did come for me!
Oh my god.
I knew you would!
You son of a bitch. Oh my god.
Oh, there's a- oh no! Hey, you chicken, run, chicken!
I'm not gonna be able to make it.
Just stay there, chicken! Oh no! You fucked it up! You fucked it up! That was 100% on Chingus. How you doing over there?
Hey!
Okay.
What is that?
I don't know. That's why I'm here. I didn't want to die because I wanted to see what that was.
The thing with the headlight? Get away from me! Get yourself a stump! Okay, oh, I don't think you're gonna fit. It's like a one person kind of thing.
I have a stop.
Hi, Evie. Dude, Splinter's a dick.
Wow. This one.
Get away from me. You're lucky I can't chop your furry ass from here. Yeah.
So what's the plan? Like, we can make it back to the portal.
Did any of you guys by chance see what time it
He
was?
doesn't need to stay on the side.
Hold on. Let me look up.
Right that way.
It's late.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should run and smack and sleep.
A wimble
What's on the other side of the wall over there, Flash?
What?
What's on the other side of the wall with the barriers? There's
We
something
don't
moving over.
we don't really know what's over there. There's just something with a light. Would you F off? What?
What did Chingus say? I can't hear him.
Chingus, what did you want me to tell Baron?
That we can just make a run for it. It's
He
right
said
through
we
here.
could just make a run for it.
Oh, okay. Run where?
Run where?
To the portal. It's
To the
right
portal.
here.
Okay. All right. Well, run to me, and then I'll jump off when you guys.
He said we'll run to him and then he'll jump off.
He's just trying to bait me into
He thinks you're just trying to bait him.
I've got the aggro over here.
The portal is closest to me.
If you
The
guys
portal
just
is
run
closer to
towards me,
him.
I'll take off running.
The portal's closer to him.
The portal's right over there.
The portal's right over there.
It's over this way.
It's over that way.
Came from this way.
Hey, Folkley, hello, friend.
Hey, tell me smells funny.
He said you smell funny.
How does he know?
He said, how do you know? I mean, he is surrounded by rats right now, so I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I have no rebuttal.
Although, I do have to admit, I am the one sitting here with the dead guy, so I don't know.
At least mine can still give me head.
Well, there's another light here. There's nothing I can do about it. This darkness does last for a while. Chop in the middle, man. Listen, I'm just trying to be helpful. All right. Well, I think inevitably I'm dead. So it's just choosing how I want to go.
I'm kind of with you.
There's nobody over here. Run. Oh shit, that's a rat.
Son of a bitch. You know what? Fuck this. I'm going out my way. My way, bitch. Yeah. Oh, shit. I'm over here. There's a flashbang. Oh my god. Thank you.
All right, I'm coming. I'm running.
Oh my god, they have heads. They have heads, Baron. Holy shit. I'm just doing circles.
Guys,
I'm just doing circles.
wow, you're doing
Hey,
great.
that's a dead guy.
Fuck. There's an axe in the middle of there. Fuck off. Leave me alone. Oh my god, I can't see. I'm gonna die. I'm dead. I'm dead. There's no way I live. I'm dead. Yeah, okay. You okay? I'm not sure. Although I didn't think that that's what was gonna happen when I ran over to that wall. I kind of thought it was gonna stop me from being able to go anywhere. So I'm kind of shocked that I was able to do anything at all. And then it flashbanged me. Yeah. Oh, would you eat shit? Who's over here, right? Am I wrong? Yeah, there it is. Hey!
I'm going back. Oh no, that's not the right way.
It feels right! Oh, it feels right!
Darkness is welcoming me, Flash.
He said, darkness is welcoming me. Oh, you can get me here. Okay, I was just curious about that. I think he was trying to eat Chinggis. Oh, what the fuck? My wife said flashbanged me. Teehee. Who's cat calling me right now? Like, I wonder if I should just let myself get got. I kind of think I should. No, I want him to do it. Okay, he really does just flash you. Here, just eat me. Just do your thing. Where are you? Eat me. There we go. Say cheese. Holy shit.
So there's definitely a boss fight.
Holy night, dude.
Oh, yeah. Hi.
Oh, hey, it's daytime.
Hey.
We all finally make it back here, and it's fucking daytime.
Stupid bird.
All right, let's get some sleep.
All right, get some shut eye. Oh, you almost had it. I saw that. Waka! Oh. It's the best. Any other rogue birds around here just waiting to be kicked?
All right, I say we just keep going.
Materials.
We need to chop.
We need more materials.
We need to chop the trees so we can get sticks. We'll
Yeah,
get the
let's
sticks
go.
so we can get the other stuff.
Okay.
What are we gonna do?
We're just gonna have to do it the hard way and carry him out.
All right. All of it seems like a boss fight. I think it's just you've got to be strategic, I think is all it is. You have to have strategy. I see no health on this tree.
I don't either, but it fell over.
Yep, I see no health on this tree either. Is it because we haven't slept?
Maybe.
Oh my god.
Oh my Jesus Christ!
Sorry, we haven't slept. We have super strength. Ah! Ah! Oh my god. Holy shit. Darsha, thank you for the 21 months. I wonder if you can die from a falling tree.
There's one way to find out.
Nope. Oh shit.
Grab one more. Grab one more.
I got it.
Grab one more. Grab one more. You got it. You got it. You got it. You can get one more. Go, 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 go.
I did get it, to be fair. No. To be fair, I did get the log out.
Nice. I'm carrying 2 though, so.
Are we not trying to fix the wheel here? What's happening?
Yeah, we can fix the wheel. We can make 2 wheels.
Oh, we'll
We're
make a
missing
wheel.
1 rope. Wait, we're missing 1 rope and 4 stick.
So we just need to make a rope. I'll go get more spider web. There's 2 in there already. Let me see if I can find some.
All right, and we need 4 sticks.
I saw you die.
All right, listen, I got that log out of there though.
You did. You did
Yeah,
great.
I did good. I did good.
Yeah. You did good.
That fucking thing.
That's fine.
All right. Once we get our materials, we're gonna.
I have
Oh, hey,
stopped
we can see the health
doing
on this
that. That is the truth.
Oh, look, an apple. My day was good, Courtney. How was yours? Oh, God, I feel bad. A bird's nest just fell out of the tree. Oh, God. Well, I guess I'll just take these feathers and throw them on the ground.
Oh, why don't you go ahead and just shit on an orphan while you're at it too?
Jesus,
Bird
dude.
out of its home. Hey, Bob.
Is that what's comparable around here?
I mean, you tell me, sir.
Shit
You're
on
just
the
killing a
orphan.
bird.
Bird falls out of tree. Dump on orphan. sounds right. Oh, hey, there's a few sticks right here. Hey,
Yeah, I had a yeah.
hey, look what I found. I found sticks.
Hi, guys.
Hey,
Hey, I found some sticks.
here. Take that stick.
Thank you. I like stick.
Hey, here's another one.
Oh, give me another one. Give me another one. Give me
Yeah,
another one.
take that one.
Thank you. Did I get it? Oh, yeah, I got it. Okay. There we go. We have stick. We're good. I really should have looked at the tutorial. I think that's the biggest mistake that I made. Mistake number 1. Thank you, Juju. All right, so I throw them all in here, right? All right. And then we go over here and we do this. Down the fenced area to build this. See, but like, do the sticks go into this or are they usable materials? I guess that's the part I'm a little bit confused about. Or is it, because like, look, we have a bunch of shit over here. Do I not want to put it over here right now? Hey, riddle me this, Batman. So if we need things to craft other things, we don't want to put it in here, do we?
Yes.
We do or we don't?
We don't need to.
No,
You
okay,
can
that's
just load
okay.
it in
That
the
also
cart. You
didn't
can
answer
make
my
it out of
question.
the cart, I
Well,
think.
no, that's it.
No, load it in the cart. Load it in the cart, and we can just craft out of the cart.
Okay, there we
Yeah,
go.
That way
Thank
we
you.
can get our weapons and stuff up first, and then everything else
Okay,
we could just focus on
all right.
building from there.
Did we get a wheel?
We're missing a rope.
Yeah, we still need more rope.
All right, and to make a rope, how much webbing do we need?
You need 4 webs for 1 rope,
All right.
but we can also make cloth out of hides.
Locking in. We're locking in. We're doing shit now.
I didn't see any rope to the left. I just got worm-headed over there.
Wow. Sounds kind of personal.
You know what? It was fun. Oh, look, web.
Just gotta find yourself a
It
speeder.
said you do get more webbing. Or here, I'll pick it up.
Oh, here.
Oh, yeah, I can carry it that way.
Hey, here's another one.
Yeah.
Did you just eat it? Oh,
my
shit.
God.
Oh, I didn't mean to eat that. Oh, God.
Oh, fuck.
I'll take it. I'll take it. No, come back here. No, 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 leave him alone. I'm trying. Oh, shit. Ow. Oh, my God. Okay.
Alrighty.
Well. Way to go, Baron. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. It's so defensive.
You guys, did you find it?
I saw it, but the spider came right back. It's like it's attracted whenever. Oh my God, it's coming back again. I wonder if it is attracted when you like when you're holding the webbing.
Yeah, when you're walking through the webbing and when you mess with it, the spider's being alerted.
Huh.
Okay.
I picked up the wedding.
Do you have 4?
Let's roll. No, I have 3.
Do we
Did we
need
have
one more?
4? Yeah.
Is it not about to chase Chinggis down and kill him? Shouldn't you leave the webbing out
fine.
here? Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in the cart.
I'm gonna sit back and watch Baron. Run, Baron, run! That big ass chasing you down.
I wasn't even worried. I wasn't even worried.
Wasn't even worried. You had it covered.
No, it's fine. Yeah.
You were.
Hey,
Please.
I found a hidden area over here.
Ooh, okay. Well, this one's opening.
What happens if we go around the outside?
I don't know. I saw the wall extending all the way over here. I was a little curious what the hell that's for. Might be for nothing.
Maybe.
On the outside.
On the outside, round the outside.
What if there's like a crack in the wall? Over
I don't think we should go that way, Jed. I don't think.
Sure. I don't know if I deserve that or not. I'm not really sold that I did. I was influenced by him. I think it's kind of his fault.
Hey, look what I did. Look what I did.
What'd you do?
I fixed the cart.
Oh, you got another wheel. Let's go.
Watch out for the spooter.
Am I to presume that Baron just went through the whoa.
Hey, how are ya? Why?
Wait. Where's he at? Where's he at? Is he there? Oh, look, he's all the way over there. He's not going to get here in time. Look at
Oh
this
my
bitch.
God.
Dude.
You know what it's
What
saying?
did you do
know
to
what it's
it?
saying? Watch. We're
All right.
going to go back through here and just imagine this, all right? Hey, you can't film me. Hey, you can't be just runs from. Hey, you can't film me. You can't film this.
Oh,
Why
shit.
is it after me?
I don't know. What did you do?
I don't know. I didn't do anything. All right, look, I'm going over here.
Oh my God. It wants his hat. It wants the hat. Baron, I think it wants your hat.
I think it wants your.
Oh my God, dude. And I ran.
Oh, God.
Holy shit. We're gonna need to build like spears and other things to try to get it.
You can do it right there. I brought all the
we gotta-
stuff. Just prop it in.
Don't just stand there. Hand me a spear.
All right, hold on. I got you.
All right, I'll wait. All right. It's go time.
All right, we each got a spear.
Let's get to poking.
Yeah, let's fuck them up.
Let's go.
Where you going, bitch? Oh shit! I forgot about
Hey
him.
guys.
Yeah.
Guys.
Yeah.
There's a penis trying to get you.
I got a rock. I got a rock.
Baron, get out there. All right, this is fine. This is fine.
Oh shit! Bitch! Oh shit! I'm so curious. I had to see what it did. I had to try. I had no choice.
No, that creature's missing one of its eyes. I think that's where I speared it earlier.
I
think we
had
can
to
kill it.
see what it did. I was so
We
curious.
can kill it.
I think
We
can
need its
kill that
head
thing.
for the rat.
Yeah, we have to.
All right, let's go back and sleep.
Oh. There we go. Can't see shit. There we go.
Neither can I.
You're doing good, kid. You're doing good. That's what happens when you poke things you're not supposed to. Yeah, I know.
Right here. Yep, right here. We got another spider silk over here too.
Oh, we have a couple actually.
Yeah, you see that? Yeah, look at that. I got myself a stone spear now.
Well, how'd you do that?
Oh, nice.
Did you like
Yeah,
upgrade it?
you gotta get. Yeah, so you gotta get a rock, and then you can take your wooden spear and you can throw it back into
throw
the
it in
cart,
and upgrade
then
it?
you can, yeah, and then you can upgrade it.
All right, we'll do that after we sleep.
Okay, yeah. I'm bringing my big stick to bed. I hope you guys don't mind.
Oh,
I mean,
I thought you were happy to see me.
Nope, it's just wood.
Oh, okay.
Rightfully so.
I don't know what just killed me, but hey, I'm back.
Oh, you did? Oh, sorry, must have been the wood. Sorry
Some
about
people
that.
can't take it.
Oh, sorry about that.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
That happens to the best of us.
All right, I guess. Well, I'm gonna drop my torch here, and I'm gonna go find a stone.
Wait, there's a bunch of stones on the ground here.
Those aren't stones.
And
Spiders.
webbings.
Yeah, that's webbing.
No,
I
there's
came back.
stones.
Is there more stones over here somewhere?
Hold on.
Hey, there's a stone over here. There's 2 stones right here.
Oh, there they are.
Yeah.
All right, so I take that guy, and I go over to the cart.
Yep. And then you throw your wooden spear into the cart. You make stone shards.
I have a
from
stone
the
spear.
stones.
Yeah, we had stone shards. There's one in there already. You should just be able to crack. There it is. There it is.
Stone spear.
And then now you got a stone spear. Nice.
How?
Nice.
All right, let's go fuck stuff up.
Oh, you can do an antler spear. You can make a hunting knife.
Yeah, the hunting knife actually gives you more resources than just hitting it normally.
Ooh.
So,
They're all just a stone's throw away.
I do remember that from the tutorial.
Wait, do we want to offload
tutorial.
all of these consumables before we?
But we're
Or
gonna be
get
pretty
back in?
close.
Or stick
We're
them
not gonna
inside.
get-
Do we have
gotta-
anything in the storage cart? Like we should probably put them in there.
Yeah, but if the wheels get stolen again.
Well, yeah, I'm saying if we have it in the storage crate and we call the cart back, anything in the storage crate comes back.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but how do you put it in the storage crate?
By putting it in the storage crate. Like that. Look, fit like a glove. See?
Yeah, you were saying. But hold on, I'm gonna hold it up.
All right, you got it. You got this.
Yeah.
You got this.
I'm losing my brandy stone spear.
Honestly, I'd feel safer just throwing it on the ground at base.
Listen, whatever you
Just
want
throw
to
it
do.
on the ground on the bridge right here. It's not gonna go anywhere. It'd be easier to find it on the ground at base or on the floor.
All right, we're late to the punch on this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Okay. Whose idea was it to play this silly little game? I think Baron was the one that saw it. What the hell's wrong with you?
Me, right here. Thank you, Chingus.
Love you. I'm coming.
Great, sweetie.
Okay, it's not faster.
What the
than
hell?
that.
All right, I was high kicking. You can't stack it on top.
Great.
Just
I'll
let
be
me
right
know.
back.
Wow. Whatever you say, dude. Should we go stab a giant?
Thinking a deer.
Oh, a deer? Oh, okay.
Okay, this eyeball thing, I have an idea. So it's missing one of its eyes.
You have an idea?
Oh, if it, I do
Oh,
have
hey,
an
look, a spider.
idea.
Charity, think of the 9 months. Yeah.
Hey.
Don't know how to
Okay,
quickly
alright.
get rid of that son of a bitch.
Well, I think we just have to hit it with the stone spear.
Okay.
I think we can do enough damage.
Stone spear with the spider?
Yeah.
All right, so we need this a-hole to come down from his castle.
It shouldn't take much.
Just look away, I guess.
Yeah.
I'll look this way. I don't have an axe. I just have a spear. Spear and a torch. Unless there's one on the ground over here. Like
Probably.
that. There we go. Oh. Oh, ball. Ball.
All right, hold on.
Get his
Yeah!
ass. Oh, shit. What a shot.
Oh,
Woo! Great toss. So we must have stabbed him in the eye the first time accidentally.
hey, I got a false face.
Wow.
A metal sheet. I mean, shit, we might as well just bring him back like this. What the hell's the point in putting this shit inside of there?
Dibs.
Oh, are you wearing it?
Look.
Hey, I wanted the hat. All right, was that everything from that piece of trash? Hey,
at me.
Desert, how are you?
Do you see?
What'd you call me? Oh, yeah, I see your mask. You look beautiful.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, he's doing
Wait,
great.
Hold on.
Okay, holding on.
Okay. That happened.
Katie, thank you for the year. Thank you
my
for the 12
God.
months. Baron? Oh, he's is he through? Got one. Oh, another one.
You go left eye, I go right eye.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Oh. That that did not go as planned. There we go. All right, we got a portal. That thing said absolutely not. Oh shit! Asshole.
Oh, fuck. Oh, no.
Got his ass. Oh, I saw him disappear. Oh God! Oh my God.
Did you move the portal?
No, I didn't move the. Well, I mean, like, we moved it from where it was at originally. And
You
yeah.
closed the portal down and killed me instantly, you jackass.
That wasn't me. I didn't do it.
Wow, Baron, I can't believe you. Ah. All right, where?
All right, where's the old portal? I need to find my spear.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Do we know where the old portal is so I can find
Yeah,
my
well, yeah,
spear?
it's back over that way. Over there. Like where the opening was, over that way. Now, where's my spear? Or do I not get that back after killing that piece of crap?
It hurts so bad. It hurts so bad.
It's just, it's so much funnier just to watch. It back. Watch this. Ready? Watch. Do I have 2 axes? Oh my God. I need to find my spear.
Oh, come on. Why is it on me?
Hey, you're doing A-okay.
What the hell is that?
Hold on.
Peekaboo.
Is this one doing anything? No? Okay.
I don't know, but that mask we need on. Look, when you look on this ship here,
Yeah.
you see that? It needs to go in the middle here. So that is an item that we need.
Okay.
So if you put it in here, it'll get us closer to escaping.
Okay. Hold on.
Hey, the spider,
I
the deer,
can't
and the boar
look.
is dead.
I
If you
can't
guys
look.
want to come back.
I can't look. Is it okay?
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah,
Fuck
see?
you.
Hey,
Fuck you.
fuck who? Fuck you, sir. You.
Flash,
Not him.
Your
Not you,
stone-
but him.
Flash,
What?
your stone spears over here in the boar.
Oh, thank you. Why was it in the board? Hi, Benika. How are you?
Because I picked up both of the boars.
Oh, you found
there's
it.
a
What the
bunch
hell?
Both of the
Right here.
spears to kill the boar.
There we go. Eat some blueberries. Feel better. Not me. Not Hermione. You.
Me? How do you emote?
Hey, Baron. Hey, Baron. Hey, Baron. You're doing A-okay, but you know what?
No.
That guy doesn't know how to emote.
Wow. Imagine that.
Ow, you son of a bitch. That fucking hurt.
I can't believe Baron did that shit to you.
Hey, hit 4. Now 5. And then play peekaboo with 6. Look.
Okay.
Peekaboo. There we go. Num num. All right, what's the mission here?
Okay.
I don't know. I've been killing a bunch of shit.
Just more material, I guess.
Yeah. Just keep getting what you can, I guess.
Roger that. Holy shit!
Jesus Christ.
Doing great, kid.
I'm gonna go.
Got it.
Came back to you chasing a bird. I love it. It's my
I
favorite.
like to make noise.
That's my favorite. No, but you got to kick them, okay? No spears.
I'm curious if the mask
Toes
give us
only.
any, if the mask help us.
Well, we need the mask to escape.
I know, but I'm just curious if they in the meantime if they help us.
Oh.
Like if
Hey,
certain
Miranda.
animals and stuff like that will stay away from us because we have.
They see us and like, oh no, it's the googly-eyed.
Oh, it's the
slinky,
googly eye fuckers.
googly-eyed slinky dogs.
All right.
Who you spearing?
Right over here.
Now the portal's moved again.
Don't tell him.
He'll find out soon enough.
Hey, there's a military hat over here. Oh,
There's cloth in here. Seems pretty useful.
Oh.
I found cloth.
sir.
You son of a bitch. All you do is take this shit out of the wagon.
Oh, I got it. I am so good.
I stabbed him in the ass. Oh God, I got him, but he's not dead.
I got him.
Thank you. Oh my God, I definitely hit him. Where's my spear? Did you take my spear?
Well, it should. It's probably going to be in both of them.
Oh, okay.
But both of them are going to be in it.
There we go. Oh my God, so aggressive. All right,
Hey guys.
What's up?
there's more stuff.
Hey, we got stuff.
We keep finding more stuff and also things. We have cloth, we've got hide, we've got pills, we've got metal.
One more log?
Hannah, welcome in. All right, I can take my mask and put it over here in the thing, right? How do I take it off?
So we have the barrels done. Or at least we have all the logs in.
Okay.
And we need 16 sticks.
4 metal, which we have metal right here. I guess I could have probably
We have
grabbed
an
multiple.
antler. Dang it! Did you move the antler?
Oh, we need
No,
another
it's
metal.
on the ground over there.
We need 1 more metal. And we got metal from killing our guy. Old eyeball face. Oh, I threw water.
Wait, somebody took my. Oh wait,
Somebody took your what?
never mind.
Da-na, da-na, da-na,
Alright,
da-na.
sticks are done. We only need one more metal.
Yeah, I said that already.
Hey, one more metal?
Oh,
Shh. Parents just don't
What
understand.
did you craft?
All right,
Oh, the antler spear.
what? Can
Oh,
you break
here's one
logs
more
in the
metal
sticks?
right
I don't
here.
know.
I'm hoping that I can one shot the deer with.
All right, I threw deer hide in
Nice.
there as well. We need 10 stone.
See?
Right, the barrels are completed. What are lumivores?
I have no idea. There's also a boss battle that's also in there.
Hey,
sometime.
Novu.
And you win the game by building your escape raft. The problem is that there's a lot to the escape
Miranda,
raft.
thank you
And
for the
there's more than
sub.
what's just listed here.
Does it have to do with this?
Is there?
Yeah. That's why they're like half the list is filled up and it's only 36%.
Oh,
If you there was something yeah, if you hit tab and then you actually scroll through the escape raft, it shows you like
This
we
is
got to
my-
get
this is my
water
first time
bottles,
hitting
large
tab.
can, small can, cooked meat,
oh,
raw meat,
shit.
leather, black leather. Yeah, there's a lot.
Okay.
Hey, this is my first time hitting tab.
Is it?
There's
It's
information
legit
that's in
mine
here.
too.
Oh my God, eyeballs, get out of here.
Can you see it? Can you see it?
my
I have a holster.
Can,
Oh
can
my
you see
God.
it? Hey, can you see it?
Oh
Hey,
man.
hey, Dingus, can you do me the
Chingus,
courtesy of looking at
Chingus.
our faces
Chingus.
when we're talking to you?
Look me in the
right?
eyes when I'm talking to you.
Look me up.
God damn it.
All right, let's go
All
to
right,
sleep.
listen, I'm Big Spoon this time since you've got the googly eyes. I don't want to look
All
you
right,
in
I'm
the
gonna
face.
watch you go to
Say.
sleep. Here, you go ahead and lie down.
Are you saying that you're disgusted to be around us?
Yes.
That's fair. It's probably because he died from the big stick last time.
It's true. No.
Kicking a bird mid-flight's wild. I think it's the only way to do it. Hey, Tiger, you're good. I also pinged really late, too.
See if I can do some hunting.
I wasn't supposed to obviously stream today, but... All right. So... Oh, there's a bunch of stones. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's fucking leather here and everything, dude.
Hold on. There's 3 stones. Oh, we need 10. Okay. We need 5 more stones. Roger that. All right. Well, I guess I'm gonna go find some stones. Are we just stacking shit for now?
Oh, howdy, friend.
Yeah, I was getting the
Well,
logs out
howdy,
of the-
partner. Oh, well, howdy, partner.
La-dee-da.
Lottie uncle and also Tom dad. Oh, what the hell? Military hat.
What's
Here, do you want to use the mask?
I don't want to use it. I can
Oh, we
put it
need
in-
to put it in the thing, don't we? There's duct
Yeah,
tape.
duct tape. Yeah.
Hey, do we need duct tape?
What?
Duct tape.
We have duct tape?
I do now. I put it over here.
I don't know what that is. Hold on.
I put it over here
used
for now.
For...
Can you take off the mask using tab? Ooh, probably.
It's used for the
Yeah.
compass.
Look at this. I bet you. Look at this. I can drag it. Okay. Well, we'll just keep it and then we can make it if we need it. Yeah.
By hitting the black stone.
What the hell did you just call me?
Huh?
Cloth. All right. I don't need to listen to your crunches, dude. God damn.
Hey, I got a small can
Yeah,
of
you know you
food.
love it.
Hey! Two more cloth. Wait. Okay, now we're starting to actually game. Now we're starting to do stuff. All right. 5 stones and 2 rope. How much? What do we need to make a rope? Weapons. Materials. We need 2 of the webs. I mean, 2 of the webbings. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We need more webbing. Got it. Able to make a bag. Wouldn't that be awesome? Ooh, more webbing. Ooh, 2 hit. Nice.
Hey, Flash, is your favorite person?
Hold on.
What the hell was that?
Yep. My favorite person. Baron? He said my favorite person, and then he ran away.
Oh. I
Baron
hear-
who?
Hey, I got spider.
Spoodster? Take this weapon and get the hell out of here.
We're
Is it
not
like the
taking any
forest? I mean,
chances with that, right?
yeah.
Fine, we just run some stuff out.
There we go. Get that guy, get that guy, get that guy. Now we're talking. Do 2, 3, 4, 5. How many do I need? How many rope do we need? 2 rope. Oh, shit. I can probably make that now. Materials. Rope. Oh, I need 2 cloth. Oh, not fucking webbing. Oh, I gotta make cloth. Oh, hide. We need deer hide. Shit. So with 1 deer hide, we make cloth. Unless we have more cloth here, which we do have one. I don't know why I thought that would be webbing. Hey,
Hi.
miss you. Webbing tube? Yeah, but it wasn't letting me do it. Watch. If I go to material. Oh, webbing. I didn't even see it. Fuck. I need one more webbing. Didn't even see it below it. Yeah, it was covered for me and I couldn't see it. I need one more webbing. I don't see one. Going in.
I got a taste of grilled steak.
Oh, that's hot. What about this way? No, we just came from that way, right? I need to find one webbing.
I'm with you.
Liking the game so far. Now that we're like getting into it and understanding it.
Oh, fuck this thing. Let's take a flash.
Look at it, Jenkins. Oh my
poked it in the
god. Holy shit. I watched you boop it. I watched you boop it right in the butt. Oh my god. Let's take it. I ran. That big bitch was charging me. Why me? I was further away.
I don't know.
What do you got?
I don't know.
Got an antler, so you can upgrade. You can upgrade your thing.
Hey, let's go.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Okay. I need a webbing.
The antler spear kills deer in one hit.
Oh shit. All right.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I got one antler for
Did
us.
you did we find a hide by chance or
A what?
deer hide?
Yeah, there's a bunch of deer that I killed over here.
Hey yo.
Yeah.
We have a
You
bunch of
guys
shit
wanna
over
head
here
back
too. I
over
just
this
need to
way?
keep remembering to hit Q.
Got all these meats.
Look at these meats.
We have the meat.
We we have the meat. Hey, don't be selfish. Don't be
Be
selfish.
careful.
Don't be selfish. Don't be selfish. Don't be selfish. And what berries do we eat that are that crunchy? You know what I mean?
The best kind.
Are they?
Captain Berry Crunch. Thank you very much.
That's why I love Netflix Crunch.
I got some rock.
Yeah. Okay. Wait, what kind of rock? I hear something moving over to my left. What?
Hey, can't go anywhere. Hold on. Shit.
Shit. I also missed.
Flash, get a flash.
Go. Let's go.
Don't let him escape.
Let's go. Not today. Fuck.
Oh
Thank
my
you.
god.
Dude, oh my god, dude. Jesus.
I got him.
Good lord. You did good, kid. You did good.
Look, there's an antler.
Another one, and I got the
Hey,
hide for
yeah,
it.
we-
Oh,
Hey, there's
there's
another
his,
deer.
there's his friend. Wait.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, we got another antler
Hey.
for you.
And I got a
Look,
deer
it's
hide.
mine.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
What?
I was trying to put it in there, and it threw it all the way over there.
Oh.
All right. Dead you are.
Hey, you're making a
Thank you for the 20
deer.
months, man. I do need to make a deer. I do need to make a deer upgrade. But I need to drop my that guy there,
Yep.
and then upgrades.
Oh, I thought
Wait,
he got
not
extra
upgrades,
antler.
weapons, right?
Okay. Yeah, weapons.
There she is.
There you go.
Pow. Let's go. But we also need cloth. Cloth. There's rope. There's one
Nice.
rope. We need another rope.
There was one rope in here.
What?
I thought there was a rope in here already. Okay.
I don't see one.
You can just send it.
Oh, wait.
Oh, here, there is another deer antler here.
Wait,
Here we go.
wait.
I can upgrade.
Hey,
What?
why
What?
does it say 0 of 2 rope?
It might have assigned it to other ropes. Press
No,
tab.
look up top, son of a bitch. The base.
What do you mean?
The base the base 1 of 9.
Son of a bitch.
Oh yeah.
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 That's what it is. Oh,
Son of a bitch.
You okay?
what happened? What?
Died. There's this spoder.
Fucking ow, dude.
I need another fucking rope.
Parents.
So I need one more web.
Hey, you know what makes
Any
webs?
Okay.
Spooters. Oh, this right
There's
here.
a web. Oh, he's about to come back.
The deers keep respawning, so I keep fucking them up.
All right. Well, I've got the antler spear, so if it shows up, giving it a stabby stab. What happened to the
yeah.
rope you made from the webbing? So it assigned it to something else. So the base itself
I
needs
have
9
the
rope.
spear now.
Ah. The Atlas spear. Spider was that way, and it's going to come back. Oh, they just did the spawn thing. Okay.
Ooh, water bottle?
Yeah, we're gonna need more of those.
All right. Definitely going to pee in that.
That's not. Hey, Flash.
Hey, what?
Hey, I got some berries for you.
Are they in
Got
it?
some claw.
I got you some berries. You said
Oh,
not
thank
to be
you.
not to be selfish.
You're such a gem.
Yeah.
Have I told
I'm here for
you
guys.
lately?
Spider!
Uh-oh, spider. There it comes.
Not exactly sure how I got my ass kicked, but here we are.
Get it?
Wait, before I go,
Yeah.
ka-chow. All right, I'm good.
Oh my god. Hey, did you kill it? Because I
No.
threw my spear at it. It's in its head.
No. It's not. Okay, we'll have to wait for it to come back to get your spear back.
I thought. Here it comes. Here it comes.
Yeah!
Yeah, I got it.
Got your spear back? Bitch.
Oh, I got a spider head.
Oh my god.
Oh, nice.
Do you want to wear the
When they-
spider head?
Can I wear the spider?
Not
hat?
really.
All right, you get the false face mask.
Hey, Baron.
Hey, Baron.
Don't look
Yeah.
down.
Why me? What did I do? What an asshole. Wow. Little old me just minding my business. What a dick.
Wow.
Oh my god, you look disgusting.
Yum, 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 yum,
Oh my
yum, yum.
god. Got tasty bits.
Okay, it's still right there. It's still right there.
All right. Look, we can all go in there and we can all fuck it up.
Is it nighty-night time?
My spear's in there.
Oh.
Well,
I
now
left
you-
my CDs in his truck. Oh. Nope.
All right, let's go.
Absolutely not.
Let's go to
Okay,
sleep.
well, now.
Absolutely
yeah,
not.
That's fine.
Hey, we gotta
That's
sleep
fine.
next
We'll
to
go
this
back.
thing.
Well, we gotta come back
Jesus.
for the spear then. It's fine.
Look at this thing.
Sir,
This is why-
if you're
this
gonna
is
wear
why I
that,
got a
could you at
couple.
least could you at least put the bag on your face first?
I
That's
feel
hot.
like that comment's directed to me.
What gave you that
I just
idea?
wanna- listen, it's just fun role play. I want to think you're Flash this time.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, thanks, man. Okay, no. We don't do that here. You know
my
better
spear
than
back.
that.
Do I though?
Okay.
That's better. No, stabbing birds is against our culture. Oh Jesus Christ, that scared me. Fucking. Oh my God, that thing just squeals at me out of nowhere. Piece of trash. All right, what else do we need? Damn it!
Well, just kind of anything.
All right. Have I told
I feel like we just
you
keep making our way in.
Oh my God, you wagon wheel
little
stealing
fucker.
son of a bitch. Dude, where? I want to know where he's going. Asshole.
Oh, I got it. I got the cartwheel. I got it. I got
Okay.
it. I got it. I don't know where you guys are, but I got it.
Right here, Fred.
I got it. Yeah. Trying to move.
Ah, you're doing great. You're doing
Yeah.
great.
There
Time to
a
get more
portal
stuff.
nearby?
Over here. It's not close, but it's over here.
What's wrong? What's wrong? You can't run like that guy with the wagon wheel?
You know what? No, I can't. Maybe I gotta lift it above my head.
There you go. Yeah, you got to look like him. now kick.
Oh shit.
You're trying to. He's trying to do strats.
Oh, I think I broke it.
Bro, he goes right for me. Explain. Explain.
He loves you.
Why does he love me? That's some bullshit, dude. Why me? It's me.
Did we lose a wheel?
I don't know how. The
Got an
wagon has
extra-
not been
we just got an
inside. I
extra-
think we just have an
got
extra wheel.
Yeah.
Wait.
Please
You
give me some
did.
raw meat.
Baron,
Sure you did.
I think that's the wheel that he stole earlier.
I think it might have been.
Nice.
We just now got it back.
Look, I killed the
Archmage.
lizard. I have its tongue as a trophy.
Oh, let's go. Wait, there's a lizard?
That
God,
giant
that's
fucking
a tooth.
lizard thing. It says it's a tongue.
Oh.
Here's another one. You guys
Go, Flash! Go, go, go!
I don't want to
That's right,
throw.
You better run.
I don't want to throw it because it'll get stuck and I'll lose it.
Where'd it go? Where'd it go?
He's gonna chase me down. Watch this asshole.
He's over here. He's over here. Why does he like me? Why does he like me?
He doesn't like you. Oh wait. Nice job.
Yeah, fuck you, pal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are very loud.
And there's the tongue.
Oh,
Yeah.
some
I'll be
meat.
right back. We need these. We need these for the raft.
Okay.
Meat. Meat. All
We
right.
need the meat for the raft too. You can just throw that in there.
We need a bunch more rope, man. Lumivore head? What the hell's a lumivore? Hey, do you know what a
I don't know,
lumivore
but
is?
that was a Terra Draco tongue, which counts as food.
Okay. Lumivore head, lights. Wait, is that the thing with the light bulb in front of its face that we saw?
Maybe? Maybe?
Hey, Drifting, how are you? The flashbang guy, that's what I'm wondering, yeah. All right. So we need a bunch of rope, which means that we need... That's disgusting. We need a bunch of rope, which means we need a
I
bunch
just
of
think
cloth or webbing.
Oh, there's some deer hides in here that you can make cloth out of.
Okay.
Hold on, there's more here. There's another deer hide.
I need... Oh. I might only be able to make one.
I mean, one's better than none.
It is. So we'll just need more, just go kill more deer.
Yep.
Might be the best route. Oh, there's webbing.
Oh, there's web. Yep.
So we got us a spooter. Oh, Hold on, wait. Yeah, get his ass. Get his ass. He's not moving. Yeah, straight in the tush. Where'd he go? Oh. Data boy. Can I throw it through there?
Shot it in the butt. I shot it in the butt.
All right, going back.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hey, how are you? Okay, nothing. Stone, yeah, all the things.
More spider stuff.
Aaron, you okay?
Hey. Yeah, I'm alright. How do you ask?
I thought I heard you screaming.
Is there more over here? Oh, I see it.
What the shit? That went like through it.
Oh, you missed.
Dude, that went through it. That was hogwash.
That area down over there is a dead end, by the way.
Roger
Okay.
that.
It goes for a little bit, but
Is there
then
a portal up here by chance?
I don't know.
Got his
That's
ass.
what I've been looking for.
Nice. I've got all this web. Oh, oh. Here's some more web.
What'd he say? Oh,
Oh, he killed it! Yeah! Will you break this web for me,
Oh
Flash?
shit!
two more spawned.
Oh
Oh,
no!
no. Oh
nice.
no. Do you
I didn't
kill and
know.
they just
I didn't know.
multiply?
I didn't know.
Oh,
Wow.
no.
Hey, break this web for me.
I didn't do this.
Break this web for me. I can carry one more. All
There you go.
right, I don't know where the portal is now, but I think it's this way.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. It's all right. The card's back in bed. Here's the hard way.
Oh, shit.
Wait, wait.
Baron, you okay? He's fine. Crafting and... Come to Butthead. Come to Butthead. Okay. Hide.
You said there was a portal?
Oh. Get out of here.
said there was
Get
a
out of here, son of a bitch. Did he say there's a portal? Shit. Gonna be in deep dong if there's no portal. What is this? What are we doing? Okay, there is one now. Okay. Get out of here, you thieving bitch. Alright. Got two more hides. Means materials. Cloth. There's two more ropes. Let's go. 4 of 9. Now we're on the move. Wait, how much stone do we need? 5 of 10. Okay, let's get more. There's 3. Hey, dear Slayer, how are you? There's 4. Any more stone over here? There's a deer hide. Okay. Let's see. Oh, it's leather. Oh, interesting. Doing good.
Oh my god, my health.
I'm gonna eat some steak.
Yeah, that boy.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Oh. You're right about the webbing. Good call. All right. We're on the move, girlfriend. Oh, wait. Is there more steak?
Yeah, I'm cooking several.
Okay, my man. All right. How do we know when they're dead? Does it say it?
You know, they turn color and then they say cooked meat.
Okay.
Like that one's done. Baron's is done. That one's done there, Flash. So,
Roger that.
This is good. I like this. Oh. Oh, oh.
Oh man. Wow.
Got it.
Wow, sir.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. Wow, indeed.
This is why we can't have nice things. There we go. I fixed it.
4 more ropes.
Okay.
All right, we got it. We got it. We got it.
We're on the move. We're doing good. Ow. Ow. I'm hurting for squirting.
It's a metal sheet.
I died right at the... Oh, I probably needed to. My health was so low. The nice thing about dying is your health is replenished.
That I can get.
Owie.
Is there a stick?
That son of a bitch. Fuck you. Where's my spear?
I don't know.
Oh, it's right there.
Behind it.
Got it. That's the only thing I
duct
cared
tape.
about.
I found duct tape.
Let's go. Oh shit. I heard shing.
Nice.
Did you make a hunting knife?
I made a nut. Hey, don't kill it! Shingus! Alright, let me get it with the...
Get it! Get it! Oh.
Nice.
He slices. He dices.
It's the slap baron.
Wait.
You forgot your spear.
Where's my spear? Oh, there it
You
is.
forgot your spear right there.
Hey, that guy's back again. Do it again.
Yep.
Chow. Stab him right in the ass.
Chingus,
Oh,
hit it,
shit.
Chingus.
Got him. Oh, shit. Help. Why is it chasing me? Why is it chasing me? Why is it chasing me? What did I do?
Got it. I
You
got it.
bully?
I got it.
Okay, all right.
Where's my spear, you big bastard? There we go. Got it. You fuck off.
Can't see much of anything.
Nope. It's getting dark. Oh, wait. You can use your hunting knife. Sorry.
There's leather right here.
Your leather.
I can't carry the leather.
I got the leather. I got more leather. It's dark.
Okay, let's take a nap.
Nappy time?
Get some
It's already-
cuddles.
God, it's already
Do some
nap
cuddle
time?
Cuddle puddle.
Cuddle, puddle. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to watch out. It didn't work out too well. I tried. I failed miserably, but that's okay. Oh my god. Wait. Good luck. Need a good luck bird kick before I go do anything.
Okay.
We should stay inside the maze. We couldn't do that while
It's
we were
fine.
inside. We can also
Oh, we
we
would
can
have to
also
take the
make
cart with us, right? We can upgrade the cart with the sleeping bag so we can sleep inside of it, but then we got to deal with that dude stealing all of our shit, right?
Yeah, well, I guess he could take the wagon wheel off, which is a real annoyance.
Yep.
There's also the Boinker 2000. The board tusk rope is a stick used for boinking strong
I haven't
enemies.
found any boar tusks with all the boar we've killed.
Listen, I just want to boink
Well,
enemies.
maybe we just gotta- yeah. Who
wants to get boinked on?
Just wanna boink on these drums all day.
Over here. Over here.
Oh.
Over here.
Hold on one second. I got Oliver.
Over where?
Right there.
Oh, I'm with you.
Are we ready?
I
And
got
go.
it first.
Nice.
Got it.
Nicely done. Got my spear back.
We'll let him deal with it with the knife.
Yep. He'll get more out of it.
Yep.
Oh, bitch. toss.
Again, he can deal with that with a knife.
Ooh, there's an axe over here. There's meat.
Yeah. I didn't even see that one
Oh my
bouncing
god,
around.
I kind of want to see what Big Boy does, man.
You ready?
Yeah,
This.
it's kind of walking away now, though. Oh, hold on.
There's a lot of them, yeah. Back it up.
Bag it up.
Back it
One
up.
by now.
Hello? Hey, use your knife. Cut this up. It sounds so gross, dude.
It's really aggressive.
I got like more than that. Whoa, wait, hey.
Oh,
Got him.
fuck,
Got him.
son of a bitch.
Got a jab.
It's fine.
Wait.
It was just a little friendly poke.
I got
Just a little friendly
got a
poke.
little
It's
jab.
fine.
Got a little jabby jab. Kind of want to throw this in this guy's face. Shit. It turns around.
Okay, I'll throw it in his butt. I missed.
Uh-oh.
God. Got one.
Oh, they're just standing there. What the shit?
Menacingly looking at him.
Menacingly. I don't want to disturb Big Guy until Chinkus is here. And then there was this asshole.
Where's my spear? There it is.
Okay.
Okay.
Do I? Oh.
Ow, sir! God damn, I'm halfway out!
I'm working here.
Jesus Christ!
Do I hit him with a spear, or do I just walk up to him and say hi?
I think we
Wait, hold on.
lose the spear if we do this.
Okay,
No,
so I just
Alright.
walk up and say
Look,
hi.
I think he's a colossus. I think he only has one eye.
Okay, so if we hit him right in the
The
eyeball,
I think
Cyclops.
if you hit him,
A
yeah,
colossus.
That's what I said. What did I say?
you said a colossus.
A Colossus.
Well, he's a colossus cyclops.
Careful, there's another board to your right.
I see it. Oh my god. There's a lot of traffic
Right.
here.
You got him. You got it. All right, I believe in you. One well-placed shot. You got this.
Oh shit!
Okay,
You
I
did so
don't
good.
think you got it.
I don't think I got him. We're going back. We're going back. Holy shit. Oh, I don't need this. Do I have that too? I don't know. All right, we're going back. Where'd they go? Fuck. Which way were they? Were they left or right? I don't remember now. What's up, Des? I think it was this way. This feels familiar. I see the cut. Yeah, I think it was this way.
Missed your opportunity.
Tis but a flesh wound.
So, hi.
All right, so my spear is inside of him.
Yep, so's Baron's.
Okay.
So, you can hit him. He goes temporarily blind, and then you can pick the stuff up. But you do lose the spear. So I'm thinking we make wooden spears. Cheap wooden spears for this.
Or do I just like get near him to make him smash, but then don't die?
You can't. I don't think that that's a thing. Try it. You can try it.
He is my tool now. He is my. Oh shit. Oh, there's more of them spawning. Oh my god. Look at how many. Look at how many there are. Holy shit.
Oh my god!
Okay, I gotta get back. Oh, it's starting to lag. Hold on. I Hold on. Oh my god. Oh my god. These are my minions. These are my minions.
So laggy, Flash. It's so laggy now. There's so many of them. Oh my god.
Alright, it's okay.
Oh man.
I can't. These dudes keep running into me.
Oh man.
Alright, the window.
Oh my god.
It's so laggy. Well, I think we found a problem with the game.
It's so bad, dude.
It's big, Jenkins.
Hey, Race Game, welcome in.
Oh, it, Jenkins.
Oh, he is unfazed.
You throw it?
I don't know what just happened.
Oh my god.
Threw it.
Shrine! What?
So many more.
Oh my god. Sean, thank you for the 51 months, friend.
He broke it.
Listen, we're stress testing the game, and obviously we found a problem. That this is possible.
You think?
It's so laggy. It's so
For all this time, you chose this path, sir.
Oh
So
man.
bad.
Listen, these are my friends. I've named all of them.
Are they?
But you can't
Hear
piss
all
them
of
off
their
again.
But
names.
Now we have to see them and we can see this break again. No. Oh no.
Just gonna go for broke, aren't we? Just do it.
Might have been ours.
Oh my god. God.
hey, there's an axe over here.
Well, good job. And become that. And there's what? 1,000 of these.
Oh.
It's so
Dude. And well, see, what happens is you stand behind the guy like that, right? And Flash timed it to where he squished one, and it turned into two.
Talvanor!
Squished a 2, which turned into 4.
Oh my god, dude.
Squished a 4, which turned into 16. He squished, and then he's.
It just kept multiplying.
Suddenly the game wasn't running anymore.
And now this is what we have. Oh my god. What if we try to kill you? What the fuck? Was that for me entering this? Oh, it was. Oh my god, that scared me. Okay, this is borderline not playable. Besides the duping enemies, is the game pretty? We've been enjoying it. We've been enjoying it all night. I'm coming.
For you to be make.
I'm coming. And now there's even more. I got this, Chingus. I'm gonna go grab it, okay? Barrett, I'm gonna give you mouth to mouth, okay? Well, my sprint is now officially gone. But you know what's not gone? My spirit. Well, I think this one might be in the bag. I think this might be... If it goes nighttime and we sleep, it'll probably reset. We just found something fun to let them know about. Oh, that feels,
Is it just as bad out here?
Oh, no, it just got a little better.
Hi, Mr. Flash.
Hi, I was gonna say, I bet if we slept, it would probably
it's still
reset
real
it.
bad for. Oh my God.
If we sleep, it'll probably reset.
Wonder. We need a Baron back, though.
We do need a Baron back. I don't know where he is. Oh, it just instantly turned to night.
Right now.
Hold on. I'm gonna go to the chalkboard real fast.
Fellas, I'm back.
Oh. Hi.
Hey, he has a fit.
Oh God, I'm stuck. I can't get off the chalkboard.
Yeah.
I might need you to kill me.
Just escape. You just
I-
escape.
I did.
All right.
Just escape.
Here,
Just kill me, Baron.
you don't
Yeah,
worry.
get me in the fire. Nope.
Kicked you too far.
You got me too far. I gotta go back the other way.
I'm going.
So bad.
Ninja, thank you for the 36 months.
Hey, buddy.
Come on. Don't just stand there. Hand me a
I'm trying
spear.
to move. The log is out.
I can't.
That's really disgusting looking while you're wearing that mask. There you go. That was good. What the fuck is going
here.
on? What the hell is going on? Oh, man.
I got you.
Just kill me. Kill me.
I'm moving towards. Hey, I'm moving over here.
I can't
Please kill me.
pull myself to walk out of the thing. And multiplying in there,
Buddy.
so it's.
I can't. I was hoping I could still write on the chalkboard. I was gonna write "kill me" on the chalkboard.
Keep playing.
Kill me! Yes! Murder, death, kill! I'm almost there! Oh, thank God.
And
Tied.
so bad.
Oh my God, no shit. Oh, no effing. I can't move. What?
Use the head. It's that easy.
I literally can't move.
Hold on, Flash.
Yeah.
Is go to the bed. Go to. And come back. We'll have it fixed.
What?
And
I'm trying different buttons. I'm trying to see if it like gets me
players
off.
asleep.
I'm trying.
Slow.
What have you done?
Well, I think I'm locked like this. Y'all broke it.
Kill it! Kill the game! Blast! Kill
What?
it!
What if I could join you guys in the middle of the game?
There, gentlemen.
I'm saying. Killed you.
Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Okay. I'm going to see if I can rejoin them. We're going to try. It's probably not going to work. I imagine it's not going to work. So, those duplicating guys need to have a limit to how much they can be duped. Hello?
This is helping. I don't.
Hey. I don't think it worked.
I think we made it.
Oh, sir.
I just got something to
If
report.
there is a
It's so
save
bad.
function, I bet you'd say. Dead. Just a little. Ow.
Ow, ow, ow. I get it. My God. You're so beautiful.
And I think that's gonna.
Yeah, that's fair.
Against
I think so.
tonight.
Yeah.
Dang it! I didn't hear you.
What?
Did you say start over again?
Start over? Round one?
I did not.
Excellation now matches her face.
Night. Next time. Next time.
What? What?
I get out of here before the computer lights on fire. Later.
Oh, there he goes.
And we're gonna leave. We'll leave on the count of.
All right, one. Oh my God. Well, that was fun. All right, I'm going to end it over on Tubes and Kick, by the way, friends. I appreciate you. That was so ridiculous. Well, we found a thing. It was funny in the moment. It was definitely funny. It'll be something I can go back on and watch and laugh. But yeah, that's a really big problem. That's a problem that can really break people's games. Ay caramba. Ay caramba. All right. Oh, let us see. Macy, thank you, friend. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you, friendos. All right. Make sure I stop raids. There we go. Let's see where we're gonna go. I wonder if that 007 game is any good. I haven't watched any gameplay of it, but I did hear it came out, and I also heard it's third person. I'm just curious if it is any good. Blue Phoenix, welcome in. Hello. Good night, Real. Appreciate you. Oh my God. I tell you what, to keep things simple tonight, I'm gonna take you over to the 24/7 channel. I'm going to take you over there. Appreciate you, Sam. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate your friends. Thank you for the donos to St. Jude. Thank y'all for the subs. Thank you for the biddies. All the follows. I appreciate you. I'm not sure what I'm doing tomorrow yet. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't decided. So I don't know if it's going to be Faz, if it's going to be something different. There's definitely a few games I've had my eyes on. It's just a matter of what it's going to be. Yeah. Please no leave. Oh, no, that's okay. I'm taking you over to a 24/7 channel. You can keep watching me. A few missions in a 007. It's really fun so far. Interesting. Okay. I mean, I know that's not usually something I play, but it could be worth looking into. Maybe. Possibly. Maybe. Okay. Guys, I appreciate you. I'll keep you guys posted in the Discord what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. I'm not exactly sure yet. We shall see, but thank you guys so much for everything always. I love you guys. Bye.